I think I might be live. Hello, Zen friends. Happy Sunday to you. Hope you're having a great weekend and aware of your amazing moments that are happening. I'm excited, as always, to see what messages come through from Spirit today. And before we dive into all that, let's bring in some beautiful, eternal, unconditional love energy. We'll begin by taking a big, deep breath to come back into the moment. We can get drawn out into the future, into the past, into the chaos of the outside world. So, taking a big, deep breath and holding it for a moment and slowly releasing can bring us back to right here, right now, where love, eternal love, and peace and gratitude all exist. So, we'll do that first, and then we'll bring in the singing bowl. I'll talk about that. But let's do the breathing first here. So, if you'd like to join me, we'll take a big, deep breath in and hold it for as long as you feel comfortable. Don't pass out, don't hurt yourself. And then we'll bring in the singing bowl. All right. So, here we go. Big, deep breath in. Beautiful. I will hit the singing bowl 3 times. And then as we're doing that, we can just let that love energy flow into us and fill up all of our body, our mental body with all our thoughts and all our stories, our heart with all our emotional choices and the emotions that we're feeling, emotions of the past. We can go into our energetic body, into our chakras, our meridians, our auras. Let it fill our physical bodies into all of our organs and our blood and uh, our cells, everything around our physical body. Just fill us up completely and then flow out into our world, into our lives. Let it do what it wants to do out there to help raise the love vibration in our life and for the planet, for the collective, whatever we would like it to just go out there and do. And something we can do in this moment as I'm hitting the singing bowl is what's one little thing that I'm grateful for right here, right now in this moment? It's powerful. Gratitude is one of the most powerful energies that are available. So when we focus on that, sincerely grateful just for one little thing right now, here, right now, it immediately begins to raise our love vibration. It opens us up to receive from spirit, both messages and abundance. Things that we're grateful for can come flying in. So that's what we can do. So let us begin. I'm not sure how loud this will be. So watch your ears and your rears because here we're about to begin. So remember, gratitude. Here we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me in doing that. Amazing, amazing energies. We'll put her back on her shelf where she likes to watch over us. Beautiful, beautiful. So thank you so much for joining me and doing that, and welcome everybody. So glad to have you here on this wonderful, wonderful adventure. So welcome, my Zen friends. If you're new to my channel or new to these readings, welcome. We do have a great group of Zen friends with huge hearts, great senses of humor. Definitely two things that help this path of humanity be an easier path instead of a harder one. So when in doubt, laugh and open our hearts, right? And that just changes our moment. So, welcome. If you want to know how the whole process works for readings and everything else, all that information's down in the description box of the video. There's a ton of information in there about how readings work, everything I offer, any of my giveaways, sales that are going on, my podcast series, all of that information down in the description box. So if you're ever wondering where to look, that's where you can find everything. Um, and there's always room, of course, for more Zen friends. So welcome, welcome, welcome. It's a safe space for us. So grateful to have you here. Thank you guys already for all the thumbs up that you're giving the stream. It does help spread the Zen love. It's a way to show a little bit of love to me and to my channel. And you're part of the love tsunami. Doing that helps draw people more to the videos and my podcast. So you help spread the love just by little simple free little like that you can do on the channel. So thank you guys for doing that. So quickly, just how the readings work. It's first come, first serve for the free readings. It's generally 1 to 2 cards for those. If anyone makes a donation, I do honor that energy exchange. We step out and dive deeper into those as well. And there's no set dollar amount for donations. You can use the super chat at the bottom or in the description box of the video. Do you have my Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and Square? So whatever you give from your heart, I know is the perfect amount. Everyone's cost of living is different, and rate of exchange of currencies across the world varies, and our income varies. So whatever you give from your heart is what I honor. Um, Blah, blah, blah. At the I'm trying to think, what else do I usually say? At the end of every video, I do post a pinned comment with the readings completed with timestamps. So if you ever have to like go away and come back, um, you know, into the stream, after the stream ends, you can see it where it's at, and click on that little timestamp. It'll take you right to where your reading is. So it's really handy. I love that YouTube offers that. So thank you, YouTube. For free. You don't have to pay for that. What else? What else? What else? Sundays are unique in that whatever I don't finish in my 3-hour morning session ish, then I do come back on to the afternoon to finish out everything in a separate stream if I go that if we go that far. Sometimes I finish everything in 3 or 4 hours in the morning, and then we don't come back on. So it all depends on the flow of things. Mercury retrograde is happening today, I do believe. Yeah, Sudeshna, hey Sudeshna. One of the things you ask is the impact. That was your first reading that we'll be doing in this session. So we'll talk about the Mercury retrograde a little bit there too. But it's not a bad thing, they get a bad rap. It's a good, whenever planets are retrograding, it's an internal reflection. And what's interesting when you study astrology and I started tracking the retrogrades, I'm like, oh my God, we spend half our lives in pre-shadow, post-shadow, and in the middle of retrogrades. So it's not anything that's unique and new. We spend half of our lives, literally, when you track everything, we spend half of it looking inward. Gives us a chance to reflect. It gives us a chance, and as the different planets that represent and roll over different areas of our lives, we have all this inner reflection, which makes so much sense around humanity, right? And our human adventure, where it's very reflective. So we have a lot of that fun energy going on as well. So I got off on a tangent, but that's that's part of our adventure here on Bredazan's channel. We do go off on little things, but we come back. We do come back to the mainstream. So that to say all that on Sundays, uh, that's how that works. On my other nights, the other 4 on Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, and Saturday mornings, if I'm on for 3 hours and I haven't got to any free readings, I do step away from donations. So we always complete free readings, some every single session, because I know not everyone can give, and so I like to be able to offer free readings at this time in my life. So I like that. All right. Also, I love giving things away. We gave away 12 15-minute personal recorded readings last weekend for Halloween for trick or treating. We also, every new and full moon for the remainder of the year, I'm going to be have a giveaway. Here's the next one coming up for the new moon on November 20th, the Scorpio new moon. Um, and I give away at least a 30-minute personal recorded reading or a hedge of peace and love, whichever you prefer. So be sure to check that out if you'd like to get into that drawing. I always try to have the newest link in the description box of the video, but there's also a playlist on my main page of my YouTube channel of winners, and I always put the videos for the announcements of the giveaways, and then when I put out a announcement of the winners. So um, if you hadn't checked out, let me see here. I haven't seen any one else in here. Let's see. Who haven't I heard from? Love is the most powerful force in the universe. You were one of the winners last weekend. Ashvin Ray. I think Ashvin may be here. Is Ashvin? Did I see Ashvin? Maybe I didn't. I dream about reading sometimes, but Ashvin Ray and New Love. So those are the ones that I have not heard from yet. So just to make sure, if you guys are here, that you know that you were winners. Everyone else, I think I've heard from, and I think I've finished half of the readings already. So I love giving things away, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. Also, all of my services are on sale for the rest of the year, all the way through January 1st of 2026, which is really not that far away when we look at it. We're already a week into November. Can you believe it? But all my virtual readings, my recorded readings, and my Hedges of Peace are on sale too, if you're interested. All this information's down in the description box. And I also have a free podcast called The Easier Path, where I share some stories of my own personal experiences so you can realize I'm human and that I'm in my Zen peaceful state for a reason these days because we all went through hell. but I share some personal stories. And then the two perspectives from the human perspective, like why do humans do what we do? And then from the heavenly, spiritual, higher realm perspective of why do we want to go through these things? And then hints from spirit on how we can make these situations an easier path instead of a harder one. That's why it's called easier path. All right. So that's all the blah blah blah. Did I post? Yeah, I did post it. I'm like, I know I copied it, so I did post it. All right. So that's all the fun updates and information coming in here. So let's do some shout outs. I'll get um, all the donations in order here too, and we'll get started into readings. So thank you guys for your patience with all of my introduction. I just like to make sure everyone knows all the stuff that's available. Because I'd rather you know about it and not be interested than have been interested and not know about it, right? So it's always information, no expectations. All right, let's do some shout outs. Hey Debbie O. Thanks for your sense of humor and laughing with me or at me. I accept either one. I don't care as long as we're laughing. And we have DT. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Let me grab some of these as I'm saying hellos with me. Okay, good. Hey, clown college was not a waste, Uh, and then we also have Cat Goddess. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Let's grab your free reading. We'll add it to the list here. We'll multitask. I wonder what the moon is in today. I woke up. I went upstairs to check on my host because she's recovering from spine surgery. So I just want to make sure she's doing good, if she needed anything, and went and cleaned up the dog doo doo, which is my one of my duties I do when she's recovering from surgery. And then took out some recycling. We usually do that tomorrow, but I saw it was big. I'm like, I'm just going to take this out right now. And then I came downstairs, and then I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm going to do my dishes too. That's on my list to do. I'm going to do my dishes. So I do my dishes. I'm like, what's going on? I felt like very tasky today. So maybe the moon is now. We got to check, right? Maybe it's the Mercury retrograde. I don't know. Well, let's see here. What's the moon in today? I know. Look at me. I'm just going all over the place. Oh no. What's today? I'm a week behind. Well, no, the moon is in Cancer. That is not. Oh, we were in Gemini, but the moon is in Cancer today, and all the way until tomorrow afternoon, morning, afternoon. Yeah, it moves into Leo tomorrow. So fiery energy tomorrow for a few days, emotionally. So, interesting. I know. Look, all that getting all this stuff done, right? All right. So we'll continue. Shout out. So Maria P. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Grabbed your free reading. And then of course Sudeshna. Hello. Good to see you. You'll be up first for the donations. Yeah, and Debbie, oh, thank you for taking advantage of the sales. I'm looking forward to more of our interactions. All right, and then we have Ashish. So hello, Ashish. Good to see you. We'll grab your free reading here. And Debbie, oh, we got your here's your actual reading here. Thank you. Yeah, right. I was gonna say I've got some. I know you are a Cancer sign with all that moon energy, and we actually moonlight. um, if they're awake and on this side of, they're on the other side of the world. So they also have a Cancer moon. I mean, their sun sign is Cancer. All right. Then we have Amused. Hello, Amused. And then Amber DeWitt. Hello. I think I got everyone else here. And we have last chapter, which is, I think, Minu, right? And Swaroop Bobby. Hello, hello. Brenda Globy and Eagle. Good to see you guys. Ateshi. Thank you guys so much for being here. And some of you guys have been with me for years. I think I hit 4 years right around this time that I've been doing live readings, because I started when I moved back here to Colorado Springs. So I can't believe it's been that long already. It's flown by for sure. So thank you guys for all of your love and support. I'm so grateful to be on this journey all together and having fun, right? Oh, I got Melissa Hodzik. Hello, in the house. Good to see you. I'll grab you. Not you. Whoa. It's not that kind of channel. We'll grab your reading and put you down here on the list here too. And Jojo, hello. Good to see you as well. I don't think I said hello to you. I saw your donations here. So thank you so much for that. So we will start with Sudeshna times 2, and then Jojo times 2, and then Maria P via the PayPal. I believe you came in after. Yes. So that'll be the order of the donations right now. Cancer Moon, Capricorn Rising. Yeah, that's right, because I'm also a Cap Rising. I'm Aquarius Sun, in case you're all curious. Aquarius Sun, that's my crazy zaniness. And then I'm a Capricorn Rising, which is all about my thinking when I'm tasking. I am totally a jerk sometimes. I was gonna say you can ask my host, but she's a Sagittarius. She's so cool that she's like, "Oh, I didn't even realize you were being a jerk." And I'm like, I'll point it out next time. And but I have a Pisces moon, and a stellium in Pisces, and a grand water trine kite, which if you ever look at astrology, a grand trine is when it's a giant triangle like this. I have it in water. But then if there's another small trine like this, it creates this kite, which is a very odd, unique thing that doesn't happen very often, which brings in a ton of water, which is a lot of reasons why it's easy for me to be emotional and connect to the upper worlds. So fun, fun. All right, let's get into it, everybody. Thank you again for all your patience. We're going to be using the Light Sears Tarot again today. I have 3 decks of these. One that I had a long time ago, another one someone gifted me, and then my host just gifted me one a couple days ago. Um, and So I have them all together in a giant stack. I split it off into 3 stacks. So I got the 3 sisters. I'm going to call them the 3 fates. And I love that we can have all that. And then if you make a donation, you do get a fortune cookie with your donation, and they're little short ones here with cosmic energy is the what we'll be using today. All righty. So I think that's everything. Let's take a quick sip. Cheers, everybody, and we'll begin. All right. Yum, yum, yum. All right. Up first, we got 2207 for Sudeshna for your first one here. And we'll give you a separate one for your second one here in a moment. So we'll give that first one a love and a like here. And we will dive in. So you'd like Mercury retrograde messages for you, please. What will happen and what can you expect? So Mercury retrograde, Mercury rolls over our the planet. It's a communication, how we like to communicate, how we like to be communicated to, how we learn, and it's like how we receive messages. They were the messenger of the gods, right? So when it's in retrograde, it can impact communication. That's why it can communicate, impact internet and phones and different things as well. But we don't have to focus on that energy because the more we focus on it, the more we invite it to happen. Instead, we can focus on the wonderful things that a Mercury retrograde is. And if you, I love Annie Botticelli. I took her one of her astrology classes, and amazing, amazing. She has a great YouTube channel. If you guys ever want to dive into astrology, she provides so much information. She's an amazing teacher. Um, but I like how she says retrogrades are like the tides. When the tides are coming in, it's very difficult to launch a boat. It'll capsize if it's a little boat because the tide keeps pushing in, and it's very difficult to launch things. So when the tide's going out, when the planet is direct, it's easier to launch things and it lasts a long time. Anything that we want to launch during a Mercury retrograde will be short term. It won't last forever. And also, it's a good time to like repair our nets. Like you're not going to launch your boat. So you repair your nets, you get the barnacles off the boat, you do things on shore to prepare. So editing things that already are there, or if you have old ideas, bringing them back to life, any of those things. And even during Mercury retrograde, we might have communication from exes come back from the past too. Doesn't mean we have to get back with them, but we could have things from the past return because here they come back on the tides for us to reflect. So it's a big reflection time. So that's for us all. Not just you, Sudesha, that's for everyone. So, uh, that's good for us all to be aware of, right? So, and it's funny because she, Annie Botticelli, she was married in her first marriage, and they divorced after a while. But she talks about her second marriage, and she like met him during a Mercury retrograde, and she goes, "This isn't good. That means it's not going to last for very long." Her second husband. Um, but she just was drawn and she was like, "I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna, go against astrology," and her whole thing. Then she found out she'd actually met him before at a costume party, Halloween party, and they met each other, but they had masks on, so they didn't recognize each other. But upon conversations, they discovered it is. So when people come back from the past, during a Mercury retrograde, a relationship can last, with them, but a new with brand someone new, it might not. So, there you go. Everything you wanted to know and more, or not everything, but a lot. Alright. So let's jump in here, Sudeshna. What based on your current energies, what is gonna unfold during this Mercury retrograde? Lasts a couple weeks, right? Excuse me. So we'll see based on your current energy what's unfolding here. What can you expect? Of course, remember, even with astrology and everything else, we're so powerful. Astrology and those energies of the planets, they can bring in situations around us, but that we get to decide the story we put to it. So I get to decide the impact something's going to bring in. I get to decide my emotions that I'm going to feel as I go through it, or the energy I'm putting out and attracting. I don't focus on, oh God, the scary things of retrogrades. I focus in on the gratitude around what it can bring me. Then retrogrades are amazing for me instead of scary and, oh God, because if I focus on the scary things of something, I invite them going, hey, come here. Instead of, oh, I love the editing, I love the reflection, the great amount of awareness around learning and how we can communicate more to ourselves and to others. We can do that, right? So, all of that said, based on current energies, we'll see what's unfolding, but you have a great ability to, um, you know, do this reflection and take control of the power, right? Yeah, Jojo. If you break up the day before a Mercury retrograde, did it even happen? It's like if if a bear poops in the woods and no one's there to see it, did it really happen? All right. So Sudeshna, the bottom of the deck here, you've got the High Priestess, the overall energy. So there, that is very much a reflective energy, right? It's kind of a guidance from spirit. If we step away, go into our High Priestess temple, we can see things more clearly. Stepping back, um, looking behind the scenes, below the surface, looking into our own emotions. So, really, a self reflection period is very supported for you with that being on the bottom there. Based on current energies, yeah, Ace of Swords, seeing things from a higher perspective, a lot of clarity around communication and around the mind, this mental energy of Mercury. Beautiful, beautiful awareness. You can go up the spiral staircase and see things from higher places. So it is going to give you, um, I feel like there is a great amount of movement forward in your learning, but also seeing things from different perspectives here. Again, they're both, if you look at both of these, their eyes are closed. Closing our eyes and connecting upward. I mean, both of them have the, energy of going upward and upward, connecting this way. It's a very important time. Even underneath the High Priestess, you've got the Page of Swords, which is all about, she's walking on the swords, and here's the thinking and studying and evaluating, seeing things from these higher perspectives. So a lot of clarity in the Hanged Man, cocooning, seeing things from a higher perspective. So it does feel like there might be a bit of being pulled back and kind of solitude energy a bit, where a lot of people are being drawn inward. It's almost like everyone goes to their separate rooms to go read and spend alone time. So it feels kind of like, where is everybody? Because everyone's kind of pulled inward. especially around communication, we might see limitations around it. We got the Seven of Wands again. Uh, Meditative, closing eyes in this bubble, away from everyone. So there's this bubble energy. It's not normally what I get with the Seven of Wands, but it is about just being to myself and shining bright, not asking permission, shine and do these different things. But I really like this serenity kind of energy that's coming in here for you. Yeah, I mean, even this. I mean, I don't know. Are all these people have their eyes closed in these cards? Because you're getting all the cards where their eyes are closed, and here's this balancing of head and heart and calmness here, and the Page of Pentacles. They even have their eyes closed as they're getting rooted. You can't really see it super clear here, but underneath that foot going down into the ground is the roots. So there's this grounding energy, this balancing energy that's coming in through here, but it feels definitely, excuse me, like you're being pulled and invited to go inward and upward to reflect on things and gain a lot of clarity, get out of the noise, get out of the, you know, all the drama, all the draw of the outside world, and take a big deep breath during this retrograde and do that journaling, do that reflective work. It will bring you a lot of clarity for your life about what you want, what you don't want, why things are bothering you. But a lot of, with that Page of Pentacles, it does feel very much like clarity that comes in. And of course, I didn't mention this, but we've got Lord Ganesh visiting us here today. Can kind of see him there. It's a little wooden with his little umbrella, but remover of obstacles in the house. So they can help us remove, especially during Mercury retrograde. It's mental release, old beliefs that don't serve us anymore can really come in here too. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here. We've got light. Light dispels darkness. Keep your inner light shining. Yeah. So there is this turning inward and upward, kind of like the hermit where they have a lantern. It's like turn to your inner light. So I like that. Hi, Lord Ganesha. Boop boop. So that's what they have for your first one there, Sudeshna. And then for number 2, we got 3322. All right. Got these 22s coming in your readings, which 22 is a power number that represents um like connecting to our higher self, realizing there's two of me, that I'm living this human character that I'm expressing myself as, and then the actor behind the character, this powerful, supernaturally eternal spirit being. So there, that reflective energy is coming through the numerology for you too. All right. So for your second one, let's give that a love and a like here. Whoops. Try that again. There we go. All right. So today you were having a call, excuse me, a chat with Mr. T, and he indirectly, of course, and said many things, which showed you, or you took as that he's interested in you, because he didn't outright say it, right? He's just kind of, and we're reading in between the lines, right? So that's good to be aware of. And clarity of communication with this retrograde is staticky. Excuse me. So we're not hearing things clearly sometimes as well during a retrograde, just Mercury retrograde, just so everyone knows that too. So does he really have any love feelings for you? Or like, what is he trying to do? Is there any blockage? And any advice on what you could do? Do it. Is it look at energy of maintaining distance as a friend, behave normal, or um, I was gonna say jump his bones. I know that's not appropriate, but it's like, or hey, so we'll take a look here. So Right. Let's step into this energy here. So, does he really have any love feelings for you? So sorry, my pipes are clearing out here. So let's see here. Tell us about these feelings here, and what are the intentions here, right? Because you were asking, yeah, what is he trying to do? What are the intentions of the conversations and the things that they're saying here? All right. And then is there blockage? That's that one here. Excuse me. Let me take a sip here. Got a little frog trying to escape here. How many frogs do we have to kiss before we find a prince? Is that what that's about? All right. Cheers, everybody. All right. And then if you let's look at the advice here. I was gonna pull cards for if you do and if you don't, but they're like, no, here's just advice. So we're gonna do that. All right. So, so this chair scooches back here. We're getting grounded for this one here. We got the Seven of Wands as the underlying energy of your entire question. And the Seven of Wands is, you got that in your first one, which is about being alone and being in this bubble, right? So I do feel like they're referring back to your first reading about having that bubble, but it is a card of being true to your authentic self, not dimming your light, not asking permission to shine. Just be you. Don't look at you know, what should happen, what shouldn't happen, blah, blah, blah. What do you want to do? Be you and just be boldly you kind of energy that's here as well. So let's take a look here. So, do they have love feelings for you? We have the Ace of Pentacles, which is not love energy. It is more the earth abundant energy. Below the surface, we've got the Chariot, which is the power of choice. So there's this indecision here. The Ace of Pentacles is more looking for opportunities in the outside world and looking at choices, looking at what do I want kind of energy. Doesn't feel like, there's like all this love and they're wanting to express it and going that. Excuse me. Yeah, maybe has to do with the throat chakra because I feel like my throat, it's hard to speak. And this could be this Mercury retrograde, not being able to speak what they are truly wanting because I don't feel like they know what they want with that power of choice card underneath too. Feel like they're not going for their heart. They're looking at their worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way. So it's kind of like they're trying to figure out who they are, what they want, etc. So I feel like that is out there. What's the intentions? What's going behind here? Ooh, okay. Eight of Wands. Passionate energy, physical attraction, energetic attraction, but not love energy. That's passion energy. And below the surface, yeah, again, with the Five of Swords, there is this conflict between head and heart, and trying to figure things out. It's just like an energy of confusion. So I don't feel like they know what they want, but it doesn't there's not hearts, cups energy that is, "Oh, I love you and I have emotion for you and I want to express that." This feels more passionate. I'm looking to try to identify who I am and figure life out and blah blah blah, but it doesn't feel like, it's I have this spark in my heart for you kind of energy. What any blockages here? Yeah, Two of Swords. Again, this is like the Five of Swords, this battle between the head and the heart. Their mind thinks one thing, their heart wants other things. But I'm not getting like this singular like draw. It's more like their heart wants to feel love, and so it's like it is a little bit of what about that? What about them? What about them? I feel like choice energy again with that choice card, the chariot card on the bottom, is like I have a variety of people in my radar and I'm not sure what I want, so I'm kind of talking to a variety of people. So it doesn't feel like it's just zeroed in. It feels like interviewing people for a job, kind of energy instead of you're in the room and I don't see anyone else. They're like looking at everyone in the room kind of energy that's there. Let's see what their advice here is for you. Yeah, we got the Knight of Swords, which is movement of communication, clarity, and and this is what we're afraid to ask, right? Because they are indirectly saying things, but do we clarify when you say this, is this what you mean? We're afraid that they're going to say no, so we don't ask for clarity, right? Or we don't feel it's appropriate, that can be that too. But this Nine of Swords is seeking clarity around what is being said. Um, and because when we read between the lines, we're going to see things that aren't there, right? And so there's an importance of asking for clarity below the surface. Yeah, we have the Five of Pentacles, the fear of being abandoned, being left behind, being left out in the cold, fear of rejection, right? I don't want to ask that because what if I ruin it? But the whole thing is, you know, we want someone that we're going to be able to communicate with and talk with and share with, right? And if I'm afraid to ask for clarity or to tell someone how I feel, then I'm afraid, right, that if I tell them, it's going to scare them away. But if I tell someone that I care about them and that, what do they think about seeing where this can go? If it scares them away, then they needed to be scared away because that means they can't handle me. and that's I want someone that can be present and that I don't have to walk on eggshells around, right? Yeah, you have Knight of Swords again. So seeking clarity. You know what? Seek clarity. You know what? Seek clarity. And you got the Page of Pentacles in this one too. You know, it's about grounding ourselves and understanding that whatever is bubbling up within us, that's for us to it's a reflection energy. Am I gauging my worth on their actions or non-actions, their words or their silence? That's why we are like hesitant to share things because their reaction is going to tell me who I am. And when we believe that, that's why we fear it. But that's a lie. That's what we're taught. Other people's opinions tell us about who we are, but it's not true, right? We get to decide the story of who we are. And that's also the Knight of Swords, the quest for the storyteller, the quest for the Ace of Swords, which is our power to realize I'm the one that gets to decide what things mean in my life, not other people's, you know, actions and um because people are unstable. Humans are unstable. I was reading more from the Let Them theory by Mel Robbins and this morning and it's an interesting because it does talk about how we all grow up being conditioned to this is how we express our emotions and we tend to um, fear people's silence and think I did something wrong but people will give us the three stages of manipulation which I think I talked about either in this last podcast or next week's podcast but it's people asking sad, people acting bullish, bully, angry, or rejection or silent treatment. And people do that when they're acting like an immature 8-year-old who doesn't know how to express their emotions. And then we are thinking we need to do all this stuff and be responsible for their emotions and how they're feeling. But it's all about coming back to you and realizing yeah, if I'm interested in someone, if I talk about it and they're, "Oh my god," then and they run away, it's like, "Well, thank you. You're a scared bunny rabbit, and I don't want a scared bunny rabbit. I want a brave, courageous lion. So, thank you for showing me who you are." but don't be afraid to ask for clarity, right? Yeah, and you got transformational energy coming in here. You are turning into a butterfly. Transformation is the soul's evolution, so it's all part of growth that's coming in here. But I we've got a lot of tower cards, and with them and the energy that we have had before, they're all bringing back from past readings we had regarding them, and they're more of a stepping stone. They're not your lifelong partner, but you learn a lot through them, and every time you go around the merry-go-round with them, you're learning more about your fears and your expectations, and you're stepping into your power, realizing you're the lioness you're looking for. You don't need to find a lion in the outside world because you're the one you're looking for, is the big key that comes in here. So hopefully that helps a little bit there, Sudeshna. You're like, no, I'm as confused as I was before. But at least you know, there's that option of asking for clarity. So when all these things that you're saying, are you interested in me? And if they're like, well, you're like, okay, thank you. At least I know I don't want to waste my time on, you know, overthinking all this stuff. It's just like, just ask, and then yes or no, then you know what to invest in anymore, right? And I know that's the scary thing, but I feel like that's the big message that's coming through there. All right. So many blessings to you, Sudeshna. Thank you again for your dual donations. Appreciate you. And then, of course, like you said, I got your message. I don't know if I told you that, the email. I know you've been very busy. So whenever you're ready for your 15-minute personal recorded reading, just reach out. There's no rush. Um, it only expires in the physical world when I do. And if I die before you send me your questions, I will come visit you in your dreams and give you a reading there or haunt you, one of the two, or both. You never know. All right. So many blessings, my friend. All right. Let's see. Anyone else that come in here? Yeah, I've got Touch of Love in the house. Hey, Touch of Love. Good to see you. Let's grab yours. We'll add you to the list here. All right. Sorry, my little. Evidently, my sinuses are clearing up. My nose is starting to run. I better catch it. All right. All right. So, JoJo, you are up for your first one here. And thank you for your dual donations. You got 4808 for the number one. And let's see here. Yep, that will let me give that a love and a like. 3 stars. Are those your 3 stars on Hollywood Boulevard? Let's see. Did we do this one? Yeah, we did. Move to this stack here. All right, Jojo. So thank you for your first donation. And your first question's down here. So you had a dream about Mr. MCA. Did he plane himself out of our country already? Oh, and what was that dream? Us hanging out in the astral? That is a great. Hey. All right. And then we'll circle back around for number 2 there. Yeah, that is so cool that you got to meet them. I was like, oh, it's an actor. Da da da. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Then he showed me who it was. I'm like, damn. He is a very, I love his energy. I've seen him, of course, in a lot of things, but when I watch movies, I pick up on the actor's energy, you know. So it's amazing when you get to feel the life of someone, even though they're portraying a character. You can still sense the human, part of them too. Yeah, he is amazing. So let's take a look here. Has he already left the country? You still can't believe it. You're like, good thing you got pictures. Let's see here. And then what was this dream about here too? All right. So So, has he left the country? Yeah. Yeah, they have the tower. Suddenly, zoop, off they went. They got the justice card, this balancing energy, um, which I don't think he has a court date or anything, but they're this justice card, Libra energy, this balancing energy. They needed to get back somewhere. So I feel like they've already left um, quickly. In fact, it feels like they got like I don't know, like this. They were cleared to leave earlier or whatever, and they're like, "Hey, if we leave now, we can go now. Ah, let's do that. Let's go." Kind of energy. Um, because they wanted to be able to get back so that they could get balance before the next big event that's coming forward for them. So, yeah, I do feel like they did leave the building. Yep, two of wands. They got this plan's energy. Again, there's this um transportation kind of energy where it's like off we go. um yeah, I feel like there's starting a new project too because they have the chariot card, which is it's like all 4 nights. It's major movement energy. And the Eight of Pentacles is doing the work. So I do feel like they uh, are also maybe involved in another preparing for another movie or another project of some kind that they need to prepare for. So they've got all this stuff going on. Go, 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 go. So they have that kind of energy. Um, what was the dream about here? Let's take a look here. I know here's the Three of Swords. Expectations equal disappointment, temperance, balancing energy, evolution of things, the Fool card, this new adventure energy that's coming in here. And what's this last one here too? Yeah, the Emperor. Got this Aries, plans, energy. This doesn't feel like it was on the astral plane. I know, I wish it was. This kind of feels more human connected, more your brain thinking through things, more about your adventure, more about especially with the Emperor, taking control of my life, the things I want to move to go forward. Um, that now, I don't feel like you guys met on the astral plane, but I do feel like their energy, and we kind of talked this a little bit about that. They're part of this spirit group of actors and singers that you guys interact with throughout many lifetimes. But I feel like their energy, this purpose of coming into your life and coming across your path and having it unfold where you're able to like meet them was it did help spark more fire towards your dream. And that's the purpose of, you know, let's meet at this point, come in here and go, they're showing me. I don't know if you have ever had like a matchbox and you go psh, at people. It's like you take the match and and it's like this little flame. You're like, whoa, what are you doing? That's what they're showing in my head is like there's this little to to create a little spark towards your adventure in your life. And so I feel like that is a lot of what this is. And to help things move forward and to continue that magic of the temperance card, which is alchemy, to add a little extra magic to help the gold, continue forward. The fear of, you know, I don't want to fail energy, but there's this Fool card, which is all about, let all go of the rules. And now I'm feeling excited. I feel like this lunge forward and this movement forward kind of energy that comes in with all this. So I feel like it's more, even though it's in your, um, like your movie world of your third eye and your dream world, it wasn't their specific energy and you guys going off astral traveling and stuff, but as part of your huge spirit group, you guys all support one another. in your dreams and on your path, that their energy was there along with all your other spirit guides, because this is an important time of your life to move forward, right? To create that, this new opportunity in the outside world with the Page of Pentacles energy here. But it definitely is that, wow, um, they're human, they're real. I could also have that, because when you see them on screen, it almost feels like they're not real. But when you experience them in person, and then in your dream world, they feel like more of a real person. And then you realize they're just human, just like I am. They're also spirit, just like I am. And I can be and do anything I want, you know. So hopefully that helps. But I feel like that's where that's kind of rooted in. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in around this too. And then we'll look at number 2 here. See what else they have here for you. So what else about this interaction? All right. Your cosmic energy is prayer. Interesting, which says prayer is a dialogue with the universe. Express your wishes. I like that. We express our wishes to Creator, but it's not like they have a great memory. We just only have to ask once, like, what I'd love to do with my life is this. And then we spend the rest of the time focusing on gratitude, not every day. I wish I could do this. I wish I could do this. I wish, because that turns into lack and need energy and want energy, which pushes stuff away. We just ask once and hand it over. You know what I would like? This. All right. Now I'm just going to focus on what I love about my life and let's go. Trust. I trust you. I trust you. I love you. And here we go, Creator. So I like that. All right, so that's for number 1, and we will circle back around for number 2 here. Let me just grab here. So, Sudeshna, thank you for your additional. We'll add you to that list here. And Sudeshni, I'm so sorry. That is not Sudeshna. That's Sudeshni. Hello. Good to see you. I'll add you to the list there. So thank you so much. Good to see you as well. Olivier Vagara, hello. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Add your free reading here to the list. Whoa, got your name, but it didn't grab everything else. Let's try that again. All right. And then Violet, hello. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you as well. And we'll add you to the free list here. All right. So thank you guys again for all your patience in getting to your readings. And thank you for being here. And all the thumbs up too. I appreciate all of that support and that love. So let's take a quick swig here. Cheers to you, Jojo. All right. Clearing the throat. All right. So 5849. That is your second timestamp. So thank you again for your dual donation. And we get that all updated there. All right. And this is the salt shaker, salt and pepper. So for number 2, we want to know what else. What else does Spirit want you to know? Right. All right. Okay. Got 2. Do want that one. Don't want those. Do want that one. That one. That one's a little secret below the surface. We'll see what that's about. Leading to that. All right. Excuse me. This will go away here in a moment. But I love that your question about like the Mercury retrograde. If you break up with someone the day before a retrograde, did it really happen? Well, the bottom of the deck, you've got the 2 of Cups. So relationship energy coming in. 10 of Cups underneath that, another relationship energy below the surface. So yeah, interesting. So Yeah, does a breakup that happens in Mercury grade pre-shadow or in the midst of it, or does that mean the breakup isn't gonna last? Well, it could. And I know you're mainly joking, but that's the whole thing about, um, like a double negative is a positive kind of energy, right? A negative times a negative equals a positive. Um, so it can mean that the breakup doesn't last, but there's also the if we don't deal with the conflict that caused the breakup, it doesn't mean that it's the merry-go-round's gonna stop and we're just gonna keep doing the same thing and end up with the same result, right? Um, so it can mean that, but it's not always "Oh, it means we're gonna get back together?" Yeah, it can, and it's like, "Oh, good," and it's like, not always. There's not good or bad. There's just different experiences, right? So it's like, yeah, you might get back together, but, you might just be experiencing the same stuff if we haven't had time to really get to it. It's gonna be a mirror. It's like those, cosmetic mirrors. It's this mirror, then you flip it over and you're like, "Oh my god, I see my pores this close," right? So sometimes that can be that here. But for your reading, I feel like this is a focus on the joy of relationships, and, um, I feel like there's this important energy, no matter who you interact with, whether it is movie stars or lovers or family or friends or coworkers or whoever, realizing they are a mirror, that they're showing us what we want to see about ourselves. And the more I focus on one of the big things that relationship shows us is like that three of swords, the disappointment. When we have expectations, we're gonna feel disappointment because no one can live up to 100% of our expectations, not even including ourselves. So there's this big reflection of the amount of pressure and the cage we have ourselves in. All these mirrors keep showing us things we can question to release ourselves from and release other people from as well. So I feel like this joy, focusing on what we love about someone, what we love about each moment, is what brings in this euphoric bliss state in our lives. But, you know, then a little expectation comes in and we focus on something that's not happening. Suddenly we're, it's like, what was that from Strange, Strange Worlds? I forget it, but it's like suddenly they're flipped and they're in a different reality and it's dark and weird. Um, and that's what can happen. One moment we can be like in bright light and something comes in and it's one of our triggers and suddenly we trip and we're face down in the mud. And that's okay. It's part of our journey. Interesting. All right, let's see what else they want you to know here. Yeah, you've got the 9 of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. We knew about this already. 9 of Pentacles is a hermity energy. You're here alone in the garden with spirit. This allows you with the Page of Wands to focus on your passion. And so that's fairy godmother coming in going, all right. So regarding relationships, remember we're focusing on your passion right now. So you're kind of pocketed away. I'm there being a rooster blocker or hen blocker, where the individuals that are coming across your life aren't for long term. They're more stepping stones and learning opportunities, but these are not your, you know, long term relationship individuals that are coming across your path, right? You have the King of Cups. There is one in your future, though, down the road. The King of Cups is one of my cards of a perfect compatible person, someone that's balanced between head and heart, that can share their emotions clearly and honestly. I know what. And they're also intelligent. Excuse me. And but they're not so logical that they don't know what an emotion is, and they're not so emotional that they're, you know, a emotional wreck. It's a beautiful balanced energy. And so there is this person that's perfect. You guys are a perfect fit for each other, but it's down the road. And so they're like, don't give up hope. It's not like, oh, you're going to be single all your life. It's only going to be stepping stones. But the stepping stones are what help you be who you want to be and are more true to yourself. And that's what draws you guys together. But you're both going through this stepping stones and clearing away of things to get you there. But in the meantime, you're focusing on your passion of your life, your dream, right? All right. And then you have the Three of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles. Whoa. So there is this energy of, you know, there's going to be very different off ramps and off roads with the Three of Wands, the changes of direction. And the Seven of Pentacles is the last thing that grows on the fruit tree, is the fruit. So they're like, there's gonna be, you're like thinking, well, this is where I'm gonna go. You're like, well, you're headed off in that direction, and then you go this direction, and then you go this direction, and then you go here, and then you go there, and then, but you're on this journey and this adventure, and you will get there eventually. But the Three of Wands is saying that there's a lot of detours and different things, and that's okay. It's adventures that are happening for you as you're doing this. Yeah. And you do have the Knight of Cups, so there is romance, there is, that in the future, but it's also a reminder that we're all on a quest for our self-love, that every relationship in the outside world is a reflection of our self-love. And I can't love others more than I love myself, nor accept love from others and receive love from others more than I love myself. So if I love myself this much, no matter how much love I want to pour out, it's going to drip, drip, no matter how much love someone wants to give me, drip, drip. But the more I expand my self love and raise my love vibration, the more I can give and receive to the people in the outside world too. So it's a quest for our self love. This is the love we're looking for. We look at here, it falls short, disappointing. When we find the love in here, we fill up, overflow. What the outside world gives us becomes extra and overflow in abundance. So, as far as love and our interactions with others, it transforms from a feeling of lack and disappointment and falling short and instability to the stable, overflowing gratitude, abundant energy instead. So it's worth the journey, I feel, is like what they wanted to say here. We've got, this doesn't look like green on the screen. In real life, this is like a real emerald green, as well as that down there. Yeah, that looks like blue, almost blue green. These are very green energies of the heart today. All right. And then it ends up with the judgment card. Yeah, here's your true love is yourself, this is your, but this also is your higher self drawing you to your calling in life, realizing that falling in love is not your calling. Finding your love in yourself and filling up and sharing that with the world is your calling. And that's your passion. That's your dream, to help others find that too, right? So that's what they got there for you. Let's see what your fortune cookie says too. But I feel like it's just a good reminder. It's stuff but up here, but I feel like it's sinking into here, where it's like, all right, I know, but then and it changes things. It's like when you want to make a change in your life. I know I need to do this, but when it drops into a heart, that's when we actually make changes. Because I'm like, "Oh, I know I'm supposed to." But then when we're like, no, I'm going to do this for me, it changes things, right? So I like that. All right. And then here's your fortune cookie. You've got the wisdom, stacking up the wisdom, which says wisdom comes from experience and reflection. So you're getting wise with these reflections that you have in your life, right? All right. So that's what they have for you, my dear. Thank you again for your donations. I appreciate those. Always a joy. All right. So, Maria P, we have yours 11010. Wow. All these Ones and zeros and ending and beginning energies. So thank you for your donation via the PayPal. Let's bring that up here. I'm gonna take another sip here. We'll clear out these pipes eventually here. Oh God, no, no. You're catching up. All right. So Maria, while these thoughts and feelings towards you today, let's take a look here. Out in the hunter's blinds, out in their little journey. All right. So thoughts and feelings. He said he misses you. What does he miss most? All right. Thank you. Has he told any of his friends about you? Okay. Thank you. Boom, boom, boom. Does his mom know about you? Not those. None of those. So does his mom. All right. Dark side updates. And does he like your new makeup look? And he seems upset now. What happened? All right, I'll take a look here. All right. So their thoughts and feelings right now. Yep, they've got the Four of Wands energy. So very much there's this joy energy. So, like we knew that things are going well between the two of you here. And the Knight of Swords is the movement of thoughts, seeking clarity. Um, but it feels like they're letting their mind process, and there's movement of thought in a positive directions. So it does feel here like the joy is returned, and now they're allowing their mind and things to move forward. Whereas before they kind of hit pause because, like, I don't know what's going to happen here. Let me just kind of, whoa. Now things are starting to move in their brain again about the future and what's next and all that kind of fun stuff, right? He said he misses you. What is he miss the most? Two of Pentacles. Yeah, there's this balancing energy here. What he likes this. It just feels this flow between the two of you. It just feels the balanced energy that you bring in for their life. It just, um, it's not like you guys are opposites, but you do help steady them. And they love this feeling of, um, the flow that happens between the two of you, both mentally and emotionally and physically and energetically. They're just like they love how the flow, when things are flowing between the two of you, it just feels like you feel like a glove. But when things aren't going well, it's like have you ever tried putting on like surgical gloves and you know uh you get the fingers in and then it's like, "Oh no," two fingers went into one and or, it's off where, um, it's about working, about the glove not fitting right. So it's the frustration. When things are not flowing, it's frustrating, but when things are flowing, it's like, wow, it's this perfect feeling. So that's what they, that's what they miss. um and when they're away, this because like you still connect mentally and you can still connect emotionally, but there's that physical presence that they miss the most when they're away, of course. Because they just like the fit of how everything fits. But they also, when they're away, they kind of feel a disconnect because they're distracted and away from their phone and doing all that kind of stuff where it feels that way, right? So hopefully that makes sense. Um, oh, has he told any of his friends about you? They got three cards here. So I do feel like they have told 3 3 of their friends. One of their friends they talked about when they were feeling down and sad, um, so they talked about it here. Another of their friends, they talk about the 10 of swords, expectations and fear of disappointing and, um, so whenever they feel that frustration around, "I don't feel like I'm doing enough," they have a friend that will cry with them. They have a friend that will take their side. And then they have a friend at work. I feel like the Eight of Pentacles is a work energy, school work energy. So I feel like they've told 3 people about you, 3 different ones. Um, yeah, so that's those. And it feels, you know, um, but it feels like these are talking about their sad times and their frustrating times, and the work one feels like they saw you at work, and so they talk about you, and so they know who you are and that. Um, so it's that energy of support more than celebrating happiness and, "Oh, I met someone, da, da, da." It's more they help them through their difficult times kinda stuff. And it feels like those other 2 probably are on the hunting trip, but it's if these are the same poker people, I feel like these are poker individuals, that are here. The 10 of swords, definitely. The 5 of cups one feels like maybe they are in both of the groups, but definitely one of the hunting ones is the 5 of cups, people too, which is what we have friends for, right? You know? It's like that's who we talk our frustrations out and all of that, kind of energy. Does his mom know about you? Yeah, that was the next one. Page of Cups, they know that they um have a new love, the Page of Cups, because they're like, you seem very, very happy, So they know that something's going on, but they don't know about you specifically. But they don't tell their mom a whole lot of stuff about that anyway, because it feels like nothing's ever good enough for mom and whatever they do. So he keeps his need to know very small with his mom anyway. So uh just know that it's not because of you or anything. It's because I just don't want to tell her about my dreams. I don't want to tell her about this or that or anything else because she's tends to go to the negative on things, I feel like. Dark side updates. We got the 10 of cups. They're really focusing in on the joy of you guys coming back together right now and this return of the joy going back to this 4 of wands energy. So I feel like they're just okay. Let's see if this joy lasts, and if we stay in this, then I will start, because like I said, their mind is starting to go, all right, so I can start moving forward because I feel like this might last between us. Let's see what happens, right? So that's more there. And does he like your new makeup look? Well, look at this. It's like jujut, jujut. He likes both sides. It's balanced. There's things he likes about the old, things he likes about the new, and the Queen of Cups. It's your heart that he loves what the emotions that come from you. Um, so I don't feel like he's really focused on makeup and going, "Oh yeah, I really like that." If he says anything, he says it out of love for you, not out of you know I love how you do the cat eye in the corner of your mascara, or not your mascara, whatever. I guess that's mascara. I really like how you highlight your cheekbones. I mean, he's not gay, you know. That's funny. I'm gay, everybody, so I don't mean to offend anyone, but that's funny. It's like I'm just reminded of Legally Blonde, where they're like, you and your knockoff Prada shoes, and they're like, "Oh," she's like, "Oh, he's gay because he recognizes the shoes." Anyway, and then your last part of your question was, he seems upset. What happened? There's 2 things here, 2 sets of 2. Yeah, we've got this Nine of Cups, which is like this dream come true energy, and the Queen of Wands, which represents you. I feel like he's a little irritated because he's away, and he'd rather be, of course, spending time with you now that things are in that place that's there. Um, and then I do feel here they're back home. Knight of Wands, fiery, fiery. Ten of Pentacles is like their life kind of things. And I just feel like um, something back on the dark side, blah, 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 this and this and this, just, you know, like you just can't let things be. And I feel like they were bugging him about something going on financially. And are you gonna do this? You're gonna do that, and da 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 da. Da. And they're like, I just wanted like time away from all that nitpicking, and I just feel like they kind of sent him all this stuff. I'm hunting. Just let me enjoy myself. And they're like, "What about this? When are you going to do that? What about that? What about this? What about that?" And I feel like they're just like, "Ugh." just this is urgent. This is an emergency kind of stuff, and it's not. So just all that stuff. Nothing to worry your mind about. Your fortune cookie. Yeah, peace. I like this. They're out here in the woods at a peaceful place. And for you, it's finding inner peace in moments of stillness. So, you know, they're away. This is a good time to spend time with you, look into your expectations and fears and what can be transformed. This is a great opportunity. You have this pocket. And, if it's like, well, what are they doing? What's going on? It's like, let them have their peace out in the woods and have your inner peace as well. Do something for you today. I feel like is that kind of that message there. All right. So that's what they have for you, Maria. So many blessings to you. Again, thank you for your donation. All right. So let's grab here. I have a couple more donations. Let me grab these. All right. So Sudeshna, thank you for your additional one there. And Crescent Moon in the house. Hello, hello. Oh, we have Shaz. Hello. Good to see you. Let me add you to the free list here. Make sure I didn't miss anyone else. No, okay, very good. And then Crescent Moon, thank you so much for your dual donations. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Whoops. Come on, computer. All right. So where we are at on donations. Let's see if I can do this right here. So Sudeshni will be up next, and then Sudeshna will circle back around for number 3 for you. Just checking my emails over here. And then Crescent Moon, you'll be up with ×2 for you after that. For all of you waiting for free readings, donations do get first priority. I will get to everything today. If I finish up donations earlier, I will start on the free readings. Whatever I don't get to, though, if I get too long in this stream, I will go take a break and go eat, and then I'll come back and finish out everything this afternoon. So you will get a message sometime today. I do pin comments at the end of my streams that have the readings with timestamps. So you'll be able to click on that. It'll take you right to your reading as well. So I do have a little list going here of all the free readings here. Let's see, 5, 10. I got about 15 to 20 free readings that are out there. So just to give you guys an update there as well. So, hey, Carmel, good to see you as well. Hey, Sudeshni, you are up. Right. So, Sudeshni, let's grab your timestamp here and get into your reading here. There we go. And there it is. All right. So, let's give your donation a love and a like there. And you wanted to know here, is Johan your future life partner? Is there a timeline you see for this relationship? All right, we'll take a look here. See what we have happening. So, yeah, because this will be Well, I want to ask first here, do you have a fated life partner? Meaning in no matter what path you take, do you end up with the same person across the board? Or if you go this way, will you end up with this person? If you go this way, will you end up with this one? Is it possibilities or a for sure person? We'll ask that first because that'll give you an idea of your path. Because every lifetime is different. Some of them we have it all eh, fated. We're going to end up with that person. We might have little stepping stones in between, but we're gonna, am I going to end up with that specific person or not? So one, what does the map look like for you? And then, based on current energies, is Johann, your future life partner? And is there a timeline for that here? We've got the learning tarot for timing. So we'll bring this in here too. All right, there we go. Put those over there. All right, so let's dive in. Let's see what the bottom of the deck is here. All right. Well, you got the magician card on the bottom, which is a possibilities energy, manifestation, whatever you focus on grows and expands and you draw towards you. So, is there a faded one? You do have the King of Cups. King of Cups is a perfect compatible partner. Um, so that's a an interesting energy because it's um, almost contradictory in a sense, because the King of Cups is like a perfect, beautiful balance person between head and heart. But then there's so many possibilities with the magician, and I feel like this message is like you don't have a faded one person. There's like three. You can go this direction or this direction or this direction. But I feel like what they're saying here, and I'm seeing I have 3 of the same deck down here, the triplets. It's not that it's gonna be triplets, but it's they're like, "You have 3 possibilities in your life, and don't worry, each of them is perfectly compatible." There's not like, "Well, this is the better one, and or you can end up with this one or that one." They're all wonderful relationships, that are there with that King of Cups. Like, "Don't worry, they're all equally compatible in different ways based on your power of choice with the magician energy." So you don't have an absolute fated one, but you do end up with a choice of three. But the choice isn't like you reach a point and you're like, oh my gosh, I have three suitors I have to choose from. No, it's your life choices end up bringing this person in. And unless you do a drastic, you won't end up with someone else. You will end up with this one. Because usually we're not making these decisions that are like, whoa, whoa, in our life. It's more, kind of changes, and you're kind of in this area headed towards this person. Is it Johann? Let's take a look. Wow. That's why I love using 3 decks all combined. You got these, uh, Ace of Swords twice and the King of Swords. A lot of mental energy coming in here. I don't feel like Johann is it. With the Ace of Swords, this is new, right? A 1/1 energies. You got Ace of Swords and Ace of Swords and King of Swords. King of Swords rules over the sword suit with the queen, but all kings get a second portion. Here's 2 swords. Second portion of swords, making them the master of communication and very air signy, very intelligent, communicates well, but they're more logical than they are emotional. Even with the King of Cups, it's a balance between head and heart, so they're not so in their head that they don't know what an emotion is. But when you meet them, and I feel like it will be someone new, you are going to have, it's going to be on a mental communicative level is where you guys start. It's really like um, how you connect from a mental kind of place. talking, great conversations, very interesting, very intriguing, and which is great because later in life, when the body goes away and the, emotions stabilize, conversation and having wonderful communication is what creates a beautiful, beautiful long-term relationship, right? But a lot of mental, always the perpetual student energy, always wanting to learn. They might even be in the education field, like a professor, but they very much are about knowledge and sharing knowledge, kind of energy here. So I like that for you. Any so I don't feel like it's Johann, but the timeline of meeting this person, um, you have August 19th to October 4th with the 5 of Cups. So there is this transformative energy, the 5 of Cups, power of emotional choice that comes in here. Oh, that came in previous readings too? Oh, wow. I love it. They're like, "Yep, there we go." So I love this, and this feels like it would be that's funny that they're saying during the fall semester, August 19th to October 4th in the Northern Hemisphere's fall energy. Um, but we're already past that for this year. So the 5 of Cups, it feels like there's a transformative emotional energy that happens. And so this could be like next year, August 19th to October 4th of next year. But I do feel like with this 5 of Cups, there is this change of emotion. Like you do get to experience, um, transforming some of the emotions that you have that's here, right? Yeah, Johann doesn't feel like it's long. That sorrow card, the 5 of Cups, it feels like it ends, and then you have time to transform, and then that's when you meet, this new person, next year, because it doesn't feel like, that they're a stepping stone. You learn through your experience with Johann, but they're a stepping stone. They're not the one that you meet for long-term, relationships, so it just feels like it's, within 5 months. That 5 is really standing out here, so it feels like things kinda just drift away here. What's the November, December, January, February, March, April. So April 9th, it's like around that period. Um, it just feels like because it gives you time to be in a place because there's solitude energy that comes in with that 5 of Cups. So you have a little bit of time in between, like 5 months, of breaking up to, which was, what, August 19th? So it's around that period. Yeah. So it's like, okay, it's this change that comes in, um, for you, and you learn a lot through, uh, yourself about yourself, with our stepping stones. But, I feel like that's what they're wanting you to know there. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here too. It's always an upgrade. We're like, "Oh, but I love them so much." It's like, yeah, if you think you love the one we're with, if there's someone else that comes down the road for us, it's like, wow, wow, yeah, you have joy, 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 joy. Joy is the dance of the soul. Enjoy every moment. And that is a good energy that comes in because, something that maybe you learn through with Johann is, we can end up focusing on who someone's not being, what a relationship is not being, the expectations that aren't being fulfilled. That's what sucks the life out of relationships because we end up focusing on what's not happening instead of discovering what do I love about someone? What do I enjoy about someone? What do I enjoy about an experience in a relationship? Then that grows and expands it. But if I fall into the expectations, that's a downward spiral that ends up sucking the life out of it. and because all we're doing is focusing on what is not happening in the world, and then that that's what ends up ending it, right? But I feel like that's you learn through this relationship with Johan how I can focus on the joy of what I love that's happening in my life, not focusing on what's not, right? Yeah, it's stagnant. It's dying. And that's good to reflect on, right? You learn through this going, sometimes something's so lifeless that it's like it's going to take so much, to bring this relationship back to life. But at least while I'm living it, I can reflect back and go, excuse me, what is it that I was focusing on that wasn't happening? And look at the downward spiral, see how it happened, and then realize, oh, you know, yes, I'm grateful about my career, but are there any expectations around my career that I'm focusing on? But that hasn't happened yet. This hasn't happened yet. It's about being grateful in the now with what is instead of setting our happiness in some sort of outcome in the future or this list of things that have to happen in order for me to be happy, for something to be successful. This did it. It's like, that's not true, is it? It gives you time to reflect and release a lot so that you'll feel more free by the time that we'll call him the professor comes around. All right. So hopefully that helps, Sudeshni. That's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. It always repeats. Isn't that crazy? I love it because sometimes, especially if we're on the border between two individuals, a little bit of a change in our life where a big enough change in our life can have us alter and end up with someone else instead of going that direction. But sometimes we're so into the territory of this other, we'll never get out of it to go somewhere else. So I like it. All right. So thank you again, my dear, my dear. Many blessings to you. All right. You're very welcome. All right. Hey, Mika. Welcome, welcome, Mika Khan. Hello. Let me add you to the list here. The free list there. And thank you, Sudeshna, for your additional ones. Where I'm at on donations, Sudeshna Ghosh will be up next for your number 3, and then Crescent Moon times 2, and then back to Sudeshna Ghosh for an additional one as well. So that's where we're at. Then I have a long list of free readings that we will start on. And Mika, I do have you on my list to complete your free reading. Excuse me, your 15-minute personal corded reading. Oh, you forgot. Oh no. Okay. Excuse me, but if I don't get to it this evening, I will have it on my list tomorrow to do. So it'll probably let's plan on tomorrow, and if I get a boost of energy, then I will complete it today. But I wouldn't hold your breath on that. Because once I finish doing all of these readings, I might be like, let me wait till I'm full again, and then I'll get into your other reading. So, all right, but I will get your free reading done today, the one you just asked about. All right, okay, back over here. So, Sudeshna Ghosh, thank you so much for your additional donation. So here is that one there. And thank you, Sudeshni, for your additional one. Let me put that down here too. All right. There we go. So, let's see, that is right here. So let's give that a love and a like, Sudeshna. I'll grab the little stack here. And this one is currently working at Cognizant. Currently, there is too much pressure at work. I know, right? Overload. Will it continue like this? Will I get some time from work to upskill yourself for the job switch that you're thinking, and guidance. All right, we'll take a look here. Let me take a sip. We have changes in weather. Like today, it was a low. It's right now it says 42. It was like in the 24 degrees this morning, Fahrenheit, and then I think we get up into the highs of like mid to upper 40s. Tomorrow, high of 70. So it's up and down and up and down. So it clears out my pipes. So thank you guys for your patience as I hack. So I'm not sick. It's just sinuses. All right. So Sudeshna, let's take a look here. So as far as the workload, is it going to continue? All right. Thank you. And will you get some time to upskill yourself? Okay. And guidance. All right. What do we got here? Yeah, I feel like that things will slow down a little bit because you got the Hermit card, and then you also got the Nine of Pentacles, which is also a hermity energy, being the nine, and the pentacles being the outside world. And then you have the Hanged Man too, which is also an energy of cocooning, being away. So I do feel like there is, I definitely feel like, excuse me, there was, wasn't one of your readings about you're going to have an opportunity to change departments? So I feel like there's something that opens up that allows you to go and you're able to move into a different area or on a different project, something that's more reasonable. Because this is this movement where you're kind of pocketed away from this situation in a way. So I do feel like there is relief coming and this opportunity that's coming up here for you. Still with the same company, but in a different department or under a different supervisor or in a different project. It's different. You're moving and pocketed away is the big energy around it. Tell you what, let me just put another cough drop in here that'll help with all this. Um, all right, and then will you get some time to upskill yourself? Yes, let's take a look here. Four of Wands, yep, joy and celebration. We like that. We have the Ten of Swords and the King of Wands. I feel like, the King of Wands is about you, um, you changing your energy around this, because the Ten of Swords is letting go of expectations and choosing joy instead. So you do have this opportunity to do this, and it can happen, but the possibilities of it all depend on your energy because you're experiencing what you're focusing on, right? So if I focus on, oh my God, we're so busy, we're overloaded, I'm never going to have time to upskill myself. Your energy is saying, you know what I would like, universe? And the universe is like, what, Sudeshna? What would you like? I would like not to have opportunity to upskill myself and be overloaded. All right, we'll bring that for you because that's what your energy is asking of the universe, right? But if you're like, I'm grateful that I have job security, I'm grateful for opportunities, but I also am grateful that I can have this pocket of time so that I can upskill myself, so that I can do this. So thank you, creator. I would like this and thank you. So you can ask the creator for that space to be able to upskill, and then gratitude and energy, and have that energy focus on what you do want, not what you don't want. Like, oh gosh, I wish it wasn't so busy. If I wish it wasn't so busy, all the universe hears is, wish it's so busy. I wish it would be so busy. I wish it would be so busy because that's our energy is focused on busyness. So it goes, oh, you really like being busy, overloaded. I wish I wasn't overloaded. I get more overloaded. If I'm grateful about the times of space in between, I get more space. So hopefully that makes sense. More guidance around this. Yep, the 5 of Pentacles is an energy, being aware underneath that, yeah, the 2 of Cups. Power of emotional choice coming in here. Guidance around the 5 of Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles is that energy of fear of not being enough, not having enough. And there's also this that things happen to me in the outside world with the Pentacles. It's the conflict of the outside world. And if on my, again, that emotional energy, if I'm focusing on like emotion that feels like victimhood, where something's happening to me, I get more of that, right? But again, there's this reinforcement of gratitude. If I start focusing on what I love about my job, I get more of it. If I start focusing on that I love having space to learn and to grow, I get more opportunities to learn and to grow. So hopefully that helps. I feel like that is what they have here. We'll give you a fortune cookie for this too. But I like it. I like all the readings I know. I say that all the time. I like this. I like this. I like this. I like this adventure of humanity. It is fun. Sometimes we just don't realize it. I know. I've lived that too. Yep. Discovery. What a great energy of, learning and growth. Discover the treasures within, follow your passion, right? So there it is again, that ability to learn and to grow and to move forward as well. So I like that. Excuse me. All right. I think that was that one there. And then Crescent Moon, you said, please feel free to take Sue Deshni's next question before you use. You don't mind waiting. Says, both questions are about career. Take care. Yeah, I actually have another one from Sudeshna too. So I'll just keep I'll keep the order that we were in. Thank you for offering that, Crescent Moon. I've got it all mapped out, and I've got two other. So I'd go to Sudeshna and then Sudeshni before yours, and we'll jump into yours, and then we'll jump fresh into their energy. Thank you, though. You're always so kind. All right. So let me see. Did anyone else come in here? I think Mika was the last one. Yep. So we are good. So hello. Thank you guys so much. All right, Crescent Moon, let us dive into number one here for you. Here is your first time stamp. We'll scroll up and get your sneak peek. Third eye, private eye. I am doing well. I hope you're doing well besides hacking up. And so I hope you are doing well. So for number one, you'd like uh, the ADD Sagittarius for today, as well as every day this week. Something you picked up with them that you're hoping to confirm. Oh, yeah. So we'll take a look at that. Let me just highlight your second question here. All right. Of course, got to give you a cheers. Cheers. All right. To finish my coffee, got to start on my lemon water. I got to hydrate. Gonna go give blood, have a blood test tomorrow, so I got to make sure I'm hydrated and so they can find my veins. All right, so let's take a look here into the ADD Sag. Take a picture of his week. All right, so for today, and got this here and this here. All right, and then every day this week. Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday's a big day. Got 3 for Wednesday. Thursday, we've got 2. Monday, Tuesday, there's a Friday, and then, do we want the weekend? Yeah, I know. Cheers to hydrating. Oh, there we go. And then going into the weekend. All right. So the overall energy for the week, we do have the 5 of Wands. So there is a bunch of different changing energies here. Even underneath that, we got the Knight of Wands, which is a lot of movement, a lot of action. But the 5 of Wands it's an energy, it feels like it starts off conflicting and then it ends up transforming into that energy of togetherness and working together kind of energy. So, um, the A team, Hannibal Lecter, right? Not, no, I don't think it's Lecter. That's the Sense of the Lambs. Hannibal from the A team. I love it when a plan comes together. That's kind of what it ends up being by the end of the week. The energy of the day, we've got the 5 of Cups. Yeah, it's a little bit of sorrow energy today, a little bit of, well, we got Cancer moon energy today. So our emotions are a bit expansive. And if we're focusing on low, we'll feel it low. If we're focusing on high, we'll feel a high. There's not a whole lot of gray in today's emotional energy. We either are in this blissful, peaceful state or rah. There's like kind of no in between kind of energy for them, especially, but for all of us, it kind of feels like that way. That's coming in here. Below the surface of that, we got the Fool card and the Nine of Pentacles. So there is this energy of feeling alone. But with this Fool card, there's also this being on the verge of a new beginning, being on the verge of a world of possibilities, and being a bit overwhelmed with the many possibilities of the outside world. It's just they can almost get. I don't know if you've ever. I don't recommend doing this, but it's just a fact that with chickens, if you go like this to a chicken and then go like this, they'll be like, and freeze because they can't go in 2 directions at the same time, and their little tiny chicken brains can't handle the, What just happened?" It's like, and they'll actually freeze where they're just standing still until it clicks, and then they're able to move again. Well, that's what they're showing me today. They're like that, a little chicken that's just like, "What? There's so much. I'm overwhelmed. I'm overstimulated. I there's like 500 different directions I wanna go, and I can't go in any of them." That's the kind of energy. You've heard that before? Yeah, right. Or cats, you can do it with cats too. Dogs are just like, "What's that finger? What happened?" They can't focus. They're too hyper. Alright, so that's kind of energy for today. It feels transformative, though. It feels like they will, by the end of the day, kick into this energy of, "Alright, here we go," right? Bringing them into Monday. Oh, okay. Monday just feels a little bit of they're focused on the fear of not having enough, not being enough. There's a little bit of lack energy. And all these fives, it's kind of this conflicting energy that they have going on. Um, yeah, because they have the underlying energies, the 5 of Wands, the energy of today, 5 of Cups, energy of tomorrow, 5 of Pentacles. But it is a big kind of change energy that's happening right now. But they're and that's what happens with our inner child. It likes things solid, right? It doesn't like things changing because if it's bad, if it's not a healthy situation, I want to keep it that way because at least I know it. I'm comfortable in this thing. Change is uncomfortable for our inner child, and this is what this fear is activated of. Oh, what if I'm not enough? What if I can't do enough? What if this? What if that? What if this? They're kind of in that kind of energy here. which is interesting because later in the day and on Monday, we do go into Leo moon energy. So we'll see if something comes in here. It feels very work related. Because I just feel like they're very focused on work and their work environment. And with this 5 of Wands, I got a lot of competitive energy and like there's someone competing with them at work. And I feel like something happened maybe on Friday that took them into this weekend where someone kind of either said something or took they took credit for something or someone got credit for something that they did a lot of work in, and so they got this competitive, "Well, what about me?" energy, um, and someone else got an opportunity, and they're like, "Why did they get it?" "Well, because they worked on that," and you're like, "But I did most of the work on that. Why did they get this opportunity?" or whatever. It's kind of that kind of energy, this competitive, "Why did they get chosen and not me?" kind of energy, around a project and things, and so they're kinda working through that this weekend, um, coming in there. Going into Tuesday, oh my gosh, the 5 of Cups again. So they're in a bit of a funk here, and they're choosing the low road, and that's okay. It's important for them to feel their feelings and do this. It just feels like they're not. They usually bounce back after a day or 2, but it feels like whatever happened lasted Friday into Saturday into Sunday, and it goes into Monday into Tuesday. So, there is this little bit of, feeling butthurt and pouty a little bit, kind of energy. Wednesday, all right, 6 of Swords. All right, leaving old ways of thinking behind, moving into new ways of thinking. Yeah. So here it is, like we are talking about. Suddenly, let me switch gears because here's the King of Wands and the Knight of Wands and the Six of Swords. All this movement and choice energy. The fire in the belly is back. Um, but they felt the feels and they allowed themselves to go through whatever this is. But Wednesday kicks in and they're redetermined, their Sag is back, you know. Then going into Thursday, yeah, this balanced energy, power of choice over emotions, power of choice in the outside world too. So they definitely have these 2 things here on Thursday. It doesn't feel relationship. This feels more, um, well, the relationship at work, um, and a balancing out of things. So the cycle changes, and it feels like on Wednesday because they do that kind of change of attitude, and I'm changing this. That Thursday just feels like I'm choosing higher road, higher road, higher road. But I also feel like it gets them. Um, it's like they get rewarded by it, not, like, specifically, like, someone recognizes that they did this and they did this right, but that they, um whatever relationship felt broken balances out, like, they're like, "Hey, I could really use you on this project, would you like to join me with it?" It would be like that kind of thing, and it's like, "Okay, I can either go, 'No,' you know, you didn't invite me at first, so I'm not gonna be a second thought, It's, yeah, I would love to do that. That's a good opportunity. Yes, I feel like they see that with my change of attitude. Look what happened. And I feel like they're recognizing, yeah, when I focus on the bad things, bad things happen, lower vibrational things. When I focus on the joy and this, it's amazing. Things just change. And I like that awareness. Friday comes around. Yeah. 9 of Cups. Woohoo. Dream come true. Joy, joy, joy. So I feel like, and that is that change, right? By the end of the week, it feels like things have, I love it when a plan comes together. All right, here's success, here's victory kind of energy that happens. As they go into the weekend, we get the moon energy coming in here, which is a lot of reflection, a lot of emotional reflection that comes around. And I just feel like they're kind of looking at the week and I feel like they're beating themselves up a little bit. That would be next Saturday, and like Saturday, Sunday-ish energy is, gosh, I was being such a baby, and they're reflecting on their emotions because they normally don't let themselves feel low vibration emotion. They feel like that's a failure, and they feel like that is a waste, and so they're like, I can't believe I did this, kind of, energy. So, um, but I feel like by the end of the week, they're just like, all right, this didn't turn out so bad. But a lot of reflection and learning from things too. Let's see what their overall energy. Hopefully, that confirms what you were picking up. Um, yeah, safety. And here, this comes into that inner child energy that's here. Safety is the foundation of life. Cherish the calm moments. The stillness of the Sagittarius. Do they ever have stillness? I don't know. But I like that because they recognize this feeling when they feel unsafe and out of control. That's when, those kind of things kick in there. So, all right. So that's for number one there. Sorry, as I crunch my cough drop. All right. And then for number two, you got 20222. So that's perfect. So here is this one. Hey, Brenda. Good to see you. Yeah, absolutely. You can ask a question. I'm finishing up donations right now, and free readings are first come, first serve. So there's a list, and we can get you on the list um, on there for sure. All right. I will get to all free readings sometime today, even if I have to go take a break and come back on. We will get everyone's messages today. All right. So, Crescent Moon, thank you for your second donation. And it says on a previous read, Spirit brought up their upcoming birthday, which is in a couple of weeks. I know, right? Sagittarius season. My host, her birthday's coming up less than a month. And need like a total deep dive, private eye reading on this upcoming birthday. Thoughts, feelings, and anything. You're welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Debbie O, good to see you. Hello, hello. I think I already said hello to you. You're like, you said hello to me earlier. I've been here all along. You're like, hi, I know. Sometimes I go off in spirit. All right. So let's take a look here for their birthday. Sag's birthday. What can we know? Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Boom, 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 boom. Great. All right. 434. They turning 43 or 34? They turning 43, they feel 34, or they're turning 34 and they feel like they're 43? Too funny. Thank you, Brenda. I did get your Venmo. Thank you. All right. So let's take a look here. Bottom of the deck, we do have the Six of Swords, which is an energy of moving from choppy waters to calmer waters, leaving old ways behind, going to new one. They have a big restart kind of attitude around the birthday. I feel like they are a big birthday person, um, you know, kind of energy, um, that comes, that with that. So I do feel like they're a bit wanting to do something different for their birthday though, because I feel like they like celebrating their birthday. Like I take the day off, but now I want to do something extra special with my birthday kind of energy. So that's interesting. We'll see what this is about. Thank you. Yes, Brenda. Okay, perfect, Brenda. I do have your Venmo email, so that's where we'll grab your question. Thank you. All right. So let's see what this first four are here. See what this is about. Yeah. It's a brand new celebration, a brand new change going around the sun. Hermit energy. Interesting. Eight of Wands and the Page of Pentacles. There's this there's this I just want to be alone for my birthday energy. I want to try something new. I'm just going to go off by myself and be by myself. And then the Eight of Wands and the Page of Pentacles, like I'll do that afterward because the Eight of Wands energy kicks in where they're like, I like the activity. I like all the energy. I like being around people, you know, especially for my birthday. So I want to get together. Okay. And then I'm going to go spend time by myself. Yeah, that's what I'll do. So that's funny energy coming in because they're like, maybe this year I'm going to go off and go on my own adventure for my birthday. And then they're like, no, I can do that anytime. I want It's funny. They're not, like, egotistical, but they're like, "I want people to be able to celebrate my birthday." You get more presents. So that's interesting. That's coming in there. Yeah, let's see what else comes in here. We have the 7 of Cups. A lot of mixed emotions coming up for this. 6 of Cups. A lot of childhood memories, coming up here, and the Emperor energy, Aries, baby energy. But there's a lot of this energy around who do I want to come and who don't I want to come here. The 7 of Cups, because this Emperor is, it's my birthday. I get to decide, it's my birthday. I'll cry if I want to. But the 7 of Cups is who do I want to choose to be there. And the 6 of Cups is, it's like there's this childlikeness that kicks in, which, fire signs do have a childlikeness, lower vibration childishness, but higher vibration childlikeness. And they have this innocence of wonder and that kind of energy, which is like the Fool card looking at world of possibilities. But there is this energy that I'm picking up here about I don't have to invite everyone. Um, and again, there's like I'm getting flashbacks with that 6 of Cups to back to like childhood birthday parties and going, well, um, I couldn't, I didn't like it when I didn't get invited to that. And, you know, maybe I'll have presents for everyone, a little something to give everyone. No, I just feel like they're revamping and looking over all these because I'm looking for, and that makes sense. I'm going back to that. I want something different, but they're thinking about birthday parties they had when they were young and a child, and what if I do this? What if we do that? And kind of all that kind of energy that's coming in there. So interesting that they're trying to do something different, but they're contemplating not inviting some people and so that I can invite others. Because there's people that don't get along with other people and they're like, Do I dare? Do I dare not invite them, but invite them? Feel a little bit mischievous Sagittarius energy coming in. Let's see what unfolds here with these other four. Yeah, Eight of Swords. Looking in the mirror. Here's the Fool card again, coming out twice. And the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, abundance, fullness, and the World card. Yeah, the ending of one cycle, the beginning of a new adventure. But I feel like they're wanting to change an old way of doing things. Definitely here. But this Ten of Pentacles, that's the hard piece because I feel like they want everyone to be able to come, everyone to be happy, but they know that's almost worse than not inviting some people and allowing others, right? Right? Yeah, and maybe inviting you. Is that is there some people that wouldn't be very happy if you were there and they were? Because I almost feel like that's kind of some of the energy here is that they're like, well, I'd rather invite you and some other people than these other people that would get upset if you were there or these other people were there. I don't know if there's like any kind of conflict or something there, but I feel like they're even thinking of having a separate together for one group and another get together for another group because they're like, I don't want to piss off like family. So maybe I'll have a celebration with them and then I'll have a celebration with my friends, with people I like. Not that they hate their family, but you know, uh but so I feel like that's a big piece of wanting to do something different. That's kind of like this underlying energy around their birthday and what's going on and kind of the part of the unfolding of things. It's like setting the backdrop, for it here. Let's look at specifically with you. Yeah, we definitely have the Wheel of Fortune and the Six of Pentacles, feeling this abundant energy that's coming in here, this giving and receiving energy. Yeah, the Four of Cups. They're looking for, something more exciting happening here. This stagnation, emotional energy, wanting to activate it. And again, the Wheel of Fortune too, twice here, 10 endings and beginnings energy, and the King of Swords and the Sun, which is the master of communication, and the sun that's coming in here, which is shining the bright light. That's that inner child energy coming in here too. And I do feel like that's part of what they're just talking about all of this is this igniting and all that communication with the King of Swords. But it just feels like they're in a little bit of child selfishness energy going, you know what? I am going to invite who I want to. Instead of and then, we talked about them trying to get out of that people pleasing and all of that. And I feel like that's what's coming in here is this energy of that. Um and that's why I feel like they sorry, I'm just listening, that I can use this as an excuse to reach out and reignite some old friendships and other things, right? And I feel like that's kind of what's coming in here with that is that um I can have this be this and then it's not awkward where and I feel like they're kind of just wanting to ease into things a little bit here with that where I can interact with people and it's a small enough group that I can really interact and then the ice is broken, the I can see how you're I can see in a group and I don't feel like it's, one on one. You know, it's just like that easing into it, but I can have this as an excuse. And more of the fear of rejection energy, that's an interesting thing that's been kind of reactivated with them lately. But this is based on their current energy too, right? But I kind of feel like yeah, I can just kind of ease into this and then see where things go, you know? That's the kind of energy I'm kind of picking up with all of this. Yeah, and the phoenix rising from the ashes, the rebirth. Every end is a new beginning. Here's that ending and beginning energies. But this is about bringing things back from the dead kind of energy. So the timing of communication has changed from around their birthday versus after Thanksgiving. It just feels like all around the same time, isn't it? I mean, it feels like they're gonna be communicating, um, with you beforehand, to say, "Hey, I'm gonna have a birthday party," and then that's when they communicate with you and say, "Well, how's that been going?" And da 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 da. But not meeting in person until, like, their birthday kind of energy. Because were they gonna invite you to Thanksgiving before? Um, and is it separate? Let me I'll pull one confirmation here with this learning tarot just to see when's this communication, like, the first communication is what you're looking at for, right? Yeah, we got May 2nd to June 20th. Yeah, the 9 of Swords energy of fears rising, and that makes sense that it does feel like the the energy has changed a little bit. This is their current energy, right? And we know that over these next few days, since Friday, they're in this feeling low energy. So the fears are a bit oh, when their birthday is. Um so, there is this more lower vibrational, I'm putting safety things in place instead of having it be kind of energy that's coming in here. Um, yeah, I release anxiety and embrace peace. That would be good. That's our affirmation. But it feels here, and this is even Mars and Gemini. um, but it does feel like they're gonna reach out to you prior to their birthday and Thanksgiving, but I feel like they're inviting for birthday. But yeah, that makes sense because they're wanting to pocket away family separate from friends, and they're gonna have these get-togethers. So, the communication, it feels like it's before Thanksgiving, because I feel like they're gonna invite you, or reach out and invite you to the Thanksgiving, the birthday party, um, and then go from there. Is their intentions right now, of communication, it feels like. So, hopefully that makes sense. But they have a lot going on, um with all their fear energy right now, and that's why I feel like, you know, if we're looking at energies, we're tapping into, like, now with Friday, Saturday, Sunday today, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is when they that's the big change day, right? Yeah, Wednesday was the big change day where, "All right, I'm excited again," It's like, so we tap into their energy today, it's all gonna have this shadow energy on instead of the hopeful higher energy with them. So hopefully that makes sense. Um, but it does feel like it's before their birthday is when they reach out because I feel like they do want to invite people. And I feel like they're in that energy right now with this feeling low. I need people around me. I want people to celebrate me kind of energy. So hopefully that makes sense. Right, my dear, but there is a rebirth energy. We like that. All right. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donations. All right. So we have Sudeshna and then we have Sudeshni and two more from Sudeshni. Thank you. So I wasn't paying attention there. But Brenda um, is first before those. Let me take a look here. So we have one from Sudeshna and then one from Sudeshni and then Brenda and then the other one from Sudeshni. Okay. Right. Let me just make sure where I'm at here. Yes. All right. Then Sudeshni, and then additional one for Johanna. Let's grab yours here, get my list so I will stay on track and not get confused and lost. Excuse me. All right. So thank you guys again for all your patience and getting to all the readings. I know they can get talkative and chatty sometimes, but thank you for the patience in getting there. And for any of the free readings, I will try to, well, we'll see if we'll get to any in this session. I will definitely complete them today with where we're at, because we're at like almost 2.5 hours. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more donations. May not complete free readings in this session, but I will complete all the free readings today. Most likely, majority of them will be in the second session. And I do post a pinned comment with the timestamps when I'm done with the session so that you'll be able to go in after the stream is in, find your name, click on it. It'll take you right to your reading as well. So, thanks again for all the patience. All right. So, where are we? All right. So, Sudeshna, you are up for your number 4 here. Did I do that right? Okay. So, thank you so much for your multiple donations. Those are all of your time stamps. And we'll give that a love and a like there. So, messages about your finances in the upcoming time and what career transition can happen. What do you need to know? All right, let's take a look here. You're very welcome, Crescent Moon. Sorry, that does seem a little confusing. The timeline energy with them, but they are very confused and conflicted, so that makes sense. Sorry, that was for Crescent Moon. All right. So Sudeshna, let's look at your finances based on current energies. Do you want those? Okay. And career transition. What a career transition can happen? None of those. Okay. Sorry, I'm looking in there, and they're like, there's all these changes happening. I'm like, okay, come on, let's zero in here. Okay, thank you. They're like, yeah, but there's this and there's this and there's this. There's a bunch of things going on here. What do you need to know? I feel like all this is the need to know down here. All right. Yeah. Well, you do have here all these threes coming in here because you've got this on the bottom of the deck. You got the 3 of Cups, the 3 of Pentacles. This is about community joining together, energies that are here. Joy, supportive group kind of energy with work. underneath all that, you also have the 3 of swords, which is expectations equal disappointment. So, there is this, and you got this giant joy energy of the 10 of cups underneath. Um, bringing back to the previous reading, about whatever you focus your energy on is what grows and expands. So it's a very important message that I know that kind of feels like they keep hammering it away, but it's such an important thing to realize that I'm not at the whim of the outside world, that the life that's created in front of me comes from inside of me. My energy, my choice of story, my choice of emotion, my choice of my physical choices in the outside world, and my energy. Where am I investing all my energy is what I draw in. And that's why they're like, well, there's all these possibilities, but remember, you know, the group that you're in, when you start focusing on what you love about each individual person instead of what you hate about them, right? You start to recognize the things you love and appreciate about people, and then your dynamic with the group changes, as well as if you focus on the negative of someone like, "Well, didn't you wasn't it about some person who was very threatening and a jerk?" And you didn't say jerk, but I think that's what I said. It's like we get more jerkiness from them instead of recognizing the other things. So, regardless of what group you're in, you can learn and grow through it by focusing instead of on what people are not doing or are doing, we're focused on what we're grateful for about people, right? So that's an important energy on the bottom because that impacts everything in our life, right? So finances right now for the upcoming time, you have the strength card, Leo energy, courageous energy, sun energy at the core of it because it is ruled by the sun. So, you know, you will have enough. And I feel like that's the be brave, you will have enough kind of energy around that. Underneath the surface, you do have the judgment card, seeing things from a higher perspective. I normally don't read cards in reverse, but you have the 5 of cups upside down, which is a change of emotion is important. See things from that higher perspective, let go of lower vibrational emotion, you will have enough, kind of energy that's coming in with all that here. Um, and I feel like that's the fluctuation, of finances. It directly is impacted by your emotional choice energy, which is great because you're in control of that. What's not great is when we're not in control of that and we're just on autopilot and fear, then we invite all sorts of stuff in. But so anything you can do to stay conscious of joy, celebration, and gratitude, joy, celebration, gratitude, joy, celebration, gratitude. That's like their energy. You have the strength and the power to lead yourself through this, but you're the one that has to do it. You're not going to have someone come rescue you. You have to do the change kind of energy. Um, Career transition. What kind of career transition can happen? Whatever you want to. Page of Wands. This is you managing your energy, managing where you're investing your energy and where you're investing it, right? But the Page of Wands, pages are taking things to a new level. And this is about your energy is the only thing that can limit you based on current energies. Again, 3 of Pentacles coming in, being able to work with a new group, feeling like you're part of a group working on something together. So I feel like you have this opportunity to work on these people. You see how they're all kind of working together, helping each other out, creating something, and it's not a conflicting energy because you got that 3 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck too, right? Yeah, the Hierophant. Again, this is schooling, learning energy. So, the career transition, definitely has this ability to learn and grow into something with this, which we talked about in your previous reading, right? And the Two of Cups, too. Two of Cups is the power of emotional choice, but it's also creating bonds and creating friendships and positive working relationships. So you have this great ability, but it's all your energy. You can make it an easier path or a harder path because of what you focus on here too, right? Which, if you haven't checked out my podcast, The Easier Path, the playlist down in the description box, it gives us a lot of tools on letting go of conflict and embracing higher vibration. There's a lot of great tools and advice from Spirit too. All that's free for everyone. But since they mentioned the easier path, have to plug that, you know. But there's this great opportunity. It feels like moving to a new group. We talked about that before, this transition. And then also with the learning of the Hierophant about moving into a new line of work or a new kind of position will eventually work its way out here too. But it's all in your power with that Page of Wands, right? What else you need to know? Queen of Wands. It's all in your hands. And the Two of Wands. Whatever you focus your energy on. So it's really this repetitive, and I know it's like, I know, but it's a gut. I feel like we get brainwashed enough. I know up here, but when it drops into here, there's something that changes when I realize my life is unfolding because of my energetic choices, both my mental stories, my emotional choices, my physical choices. I'm the one. I'm not at the whim of the outside world. These people are being this way because something inside of me is this way. And that's why it's being projected out into the outside world. So this is happening for me. So now I can go in here and I can look and transform this, right? The Two of Wands is about make a plan and then put energy behind it. What is it that I want to do? Not waiting on everyone else to make choices, but you deciding what it is that you want. That Queen of Wands, she's very powerful. Whatever she focuses her energy on is what comes forward and comes true. Um, and that's all of our energies do that, but she's aware of how important her energy is and where her focus is, because if it's focused on lower vibration, she knows that's going to be like putting sandbags on a hot air balloon that you want it to fly, to great heights. But if you keep putting stuff that's heavy inside the basket of the hot air balloon, it keeps it on the ground, right? All right. Hopefully that helps a little bit there, Sudeshna. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here too. This is the one here. Yeah, it's all about awareness. What are you keeping your eye on? Maintain awareness. Be present in every moment. It's part of that walking consciously. In fact, in my playlist of the easier path, there's a little channeling. It's a short little 5-minute video talking about walking consciously, which is if I'm not aware of the choices I'm making in each moment, my subconscious is making decisions for me. My little emotional inner child, 7 years old and younger, and my mental child, the 7 to 14-year-old, they're the ones that are making decisions of what they're drawing into my life. If I'm just unconsciously going through my day, these are the things that are being drawn in. When I'm consciously aware of gratitude and higher vibration and what I'm wanting to focus on, then I'm drawing that stuff in, right? So fun, fun. All right. So that is what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. And yep, I think that's all of those for you there. All right. So, Sudeshni, you are up next for your number 2. And then we will circle back. We'll go to Brenda, and then we'll circle back to you, and then to circle back to Johanna. So that's where we're at on donations. All right. So Sudeshni, we're here. So let's give this one a love and a like. And I feel like we did that one. We're going to go to this one next here. Excuse me. Sorry, didn't mean to clear my throat on here. What's that? You looking up? Is that like the Brady Bunch, Debbie? You know how like when they would look up in the squares at the beginning of the Brady Bunch? All right. So Sudeshni, thank you for your additional donation. What on the cards for your future and your current career growth? All right. Let's take a look here. All right. So based on your current energies, what's coming in here for career growth? All right. Step by step by step by step. It's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. So there's this energy of one foot in front of the other. 1, 2, 1. It's like a dance. 1, 2, 1, 2. Bottom of the deck, you do have the King of Wands here. The King of Wands is an energy here around career of, it's like imagine a king with a throne room full of yapping people, self-appointed advisors, and everyone else that thinks that they're supposed to have a say so in your kingdom on what it should be and how it should be and blah blah blah, right? Which is all our mindsets, all these opinions we've been given growing up as the supposed to be's and the should be's and the need to be's and society and family and friends and school and everything else telling us this is what you should do with your life. And then we develop this uh, mental dream of what a career should be. And then we have our heart, though, that is like, huh? The heart wants to express itself into the world too. That's our emotional heart dream come true. So we've got these two dreams that can battle this loud voice of all these people in the throne room telling you who you should be and not be and have to be and blah blah blah. But then also your heart wanting to uniquely express itself in its own special way to the world, not fit into those boxes, not listen to all this advice, but what do I want to do? That's what the King of Wands energy is, the underlying energy on the bottom of the deck for you is thank you everyone for your opinion. Clear the throne room, leave your stuff on the table on your way out, all those opinions, leave them there on the suggestion box on your way out. Thank you. But now I'm going to decide what is it that I want, not what I think I'm supposed to want, but what do I want. Then I make a plan and then I put action behind the plan and take it a step at a time. So I do feel like you've been in this transformational kind of, I don't want to do what I've always done before and I want to do something else, but I'm not sure what that is. But I know what people think, but I want this, maybe there's something that can be together kind of energy. So I feel like that's where we're starting off with the bottom energy in the bottom of the deck. Hey, Deb, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Happy Sunday. All right, so step one here, yeah, Queen of Swords, the balance between the head and the heart. There we go. As I was saying, there's this energy of, you know, when the mind thinks out of fear, it has to be this, it bullies the heart and says, no, we can't do what the heart wants. That's stupid. People will think that's stupid. People won't. No, you can't make money that way. People are going to look at me weird. People are going to reject me, blah, blah, blah. That's what the mind tries to keep the heart quiet. But when we go, all right, mind, that's good. You step over here. I'm going to bring in my heart. I'm going to let him sit at the table. Let's talk both of these. When the heart expresses what it wants, then we can tell the mind, I really like where the heart wants to go. Can you support them, please? Instead of suppressing them, they'll help lift it up and they'll join together and we can have something that's balanced instead of extreme and no heart involved at all. Because when we're doing what the mind wants, we feel like we're existing. When we're following the heart, we feel like we're living. If we're only following the heart, we end up in a ditch because the heart will go, I want to do this and this and this. And we don't do it, in an organized way. And then it falls apart because we're going to I'm going to become a dog Snicker um, Snicker chocolate bar maker, and they're like, "Well, you might wanna make sure it's a special type of chocolate because chocolate can kill dogs." Oh, that Snicker bar's not gonna sell, and you're gonna end up being, sued, you know? So it's like, "Oh," so there's this, awareness of balance between the 2. Then step 2, yes, following your joy, allowing it to unfold, realizing you don't have to figure out everything today. This is about allow things with the hangman. It's like transformation, like a cocoon. It takes time for things to unfold. The 3 of cups is joy. And I like it. It's like when you're trying to figure out your career, when we're under this pressure of I have to figure out my entire life today, that's too much for a human, right? We can't. But if you're like, where's my heart leading me next? That's doable. That's the steps. Where at this point in my life is my heart leading me next? Now, where is it going to be for the next 30 years? It's like, where next? We'd have to figure it all out. Just what's next, right? Underlying energy under that, a high priestess. Yeah. Can take some time to kind of step away, see things from a higher perspective, look behind the veil, get into the heart and understanding yourself. So the high priestess is kind of get away out of the chaos, get away from all the noise of all those people and the with everyone's advice and go, what is it that would make me happy? Where's my heart drawing me right now? I'm going to follow that. I like that. Yep. And the Seven of Pentacles is trust. You got all the time in the world. You know what makes us impatient with the Seven of Pentacles, which is, like I said, the last thing that grows on a fruit tree is a fruit that we just trust that things are unfolding. And remember, you're an eternal being, that there's not something like, I have to get it done in this lifetime. If we feel rushed, that's of the mind because it's fearing these things need to happen. And some clarity that comes in when trying to look at where you want to go and what you want to do in your career and things too is what kind of definition of myself am I putting on me based on career and outcomes and finances and all that? How am I defining myself by that? And going, yeah, I define myself inward and upward, not outward, right? So there's this clarity that can come in here. You have the Nine of Pentacles, yeah. Independent energy coming in here. Below that, you have the Chariot, the power of choice. There's no wrong choice. There's just different choices with different outcomes and different experiences. If you've ever thought the Nine of Pentacles is very kind of entrepreneur energy, as is the King of Wands. Um, if you've been wanting to start something up where you create something where you're an entrepreneur and you have your own business, it's very supported here. There is an energy around that you can do. And the only one that can limit us is us, right? You're not alone in it. You've got spirit here with you with the Nine of Pentacles. The spirit is with you, but this energy of independence and that you don't have to have someone else help you. You can do these things on your own as well, that are coming in here. So it feels like all the way up to this point, you have one more card left, and then we'll pull fortune cookie too. But feels like there's this, what is it that you want to do right now? You don't have to figure it out of the future, and you don't have to do what the mind is telling you. But if you're wanting to do something, your mind can support you in it. But it's about getting out of your head and letting them be the only one that has any input, and let the heart have a seat at the table and shush your mind for a little while, going, you've been acting like you're in charge this whole time, mind. So we're going to give the heart time to speak right now. You've been, you know, keeping all the conversation to you. Now let's bring in the heart, you know. So I like that. Yeah, you have the Seven of Wands, which is being true to your authentic self, not asking permission to shine, not dimming your light, not defending what you want to do, but realizing I'm the one that gets to live my life. So I'm going to choose what I want to do with it. Um, And thank you everyone for your opinions. But when I'm living my dream, I feel like I'm living instead of just existing. So I feel like that's kind of what's unfolding here. Very helpful. Good. I'm glad that helps. I know sometimes it's like, well, I know we want maybe more specifics, but it's a scavenger hunt too. It's discovering it, not having it all figured out. At one point in our lives, we wish that there was like a scroll that drops from the heavens that tells us who we're supposed to be with, supposed to be with, and what job we're supposed to have. And just can we have everything detailed out? We did that before in other iterations of humanity, and it was interesting. It was one of our first adventures here, and it was good because we were like, okay, this is how things unfold, and this is the map, and this is exactly you get the full map, the full picture. And I knew exactly the paths I had to take to get to where I wanted to go. Boom, boom, and there we are. All right, now what? I don't know. We did it. So now what do we want to do, right? And so we started to have it be where we didn't get to see the full map. And then we've got it down to, this place um, of we only see like one step in front of us because it's more exciting. So even though we're like, oh, we wish we did it before, now we're here for the possibilities and the adventure more so than determination to do something, right? Yeah. All starts with self-love. I love it. Says self-love is the foundation of all love. And that comes back to what do I want? How do I uniquely want to express this love in my heart with the world in my own special, unique way? So I like that. All right. So that's what they have for you, my dear. Like I said, we'll circle back around for your additional one here in a momentito. All right. Hey, Deb. All right. Absolutely. I'll grab your add you to the free reading list here, which I'll probably get to this afternoon because I'm already almost at 2 hours and 45 minutes, and I've got 3 donations left and probably about 20, 25 free readings. So, and I just had another donation come in through Z PayPal. So, I probably get to the free readings this afternoon, everybody. All right. So, we've got Brenda. Thank you so much for your donation via Z Venmo. Here is your timestamp. Brenda Gonzalez, guns. And like I said, your question is in the Venmo comment box. So thank you for that. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's shuffle these up a couple of times. All right, very good. Sorry, I was reading your question. So we want to find out here, how is yeah, I'm sorry, Sudeshni, Brenda's in between you. I will do yours up next. So Brenda's up next, and then your third one will be up there, and then Johanna, your third one is there, um, and then we jump back to Maria P after that. All right. So, Brenda, sorry, Brenda, focused on your energy here. So, how's Devin, Gemini, towards you, and what's going to happen between you both this week? All right. So, tapping into Devin's energy towards you this week, or what's their energy right now? Okay. That is under the surface. And then based on current energies, what's going to happen between you two this week? Okay. Go with that one. Go with this one. All right, let's see what we got here. Yeah. Such Gemini energy here with the Two of Swords. The double-minded, right? The Gemini, the twins battling in the head. So that's good. Of course, you know, since you mentioned that they're Gemini, you know that um, they can switch and they can have split personalities. Aquarius, we are the multiple personality of the zodiac. Gemini is the split personality of the zodiac, right? So it's like, yeah, it depends. We'll see what's going on here. So, what are their energies towards you right now? We have the Knight of Pentacles, the Two of Wands, yeah, taking their good old time, not really rushing into things, right? And the Two of Wands here, too, is making plans. So, they're in this energy, but it's like they go, and this makes sense with the Two of Swords we had. Is the two is the two energies being pulled back and forth and back and forth. And that's why it takes some time to move forward and do things. And then suddenly I feel like they leap forward and you're like, whoa. It's like, okay, there it goes. Um, it's like if you ever like have like a pitcher with ice and a drink and in it, and you go to pour and all the ice is and it's hardly pouring, and then suddenly whoosh, it all comes pouring in. That's the kind of energy I kind of pick up from them. Is it's like it you're waiting, and then it's suddenly bam, 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 and you're like, whoa, oh my gosh. And that's what's kind of coming with this energy. But it's what takes them time is that they get pulled back and forth between the two sides of them, and this is their personality. One, it pulls one way and the other, one way, the other. The heart versus the head kind of energy, which the twins of the Gemini is the human and the higher self kind of energy, which is kind of the mind and the heart. It's like the high heart wants to show love, and the mind's like, oh, no, you don't. That's too scary. Don't do that. You're gonna make us look stupid. Don't do that. You're gonna get hurt. Don't do this. Don't do that. But it's like this push me, pull me, and Doctor Doolittle. They don't go anywhere. They just keep going back and forth and back and forth. And so I feel like that's an important energy to know that it's not you, it's what's going on inside that noggin of theirs. What else of them towards you here? Seven of Swords. Yeah, they fear this betrayal. Um, Energy. It's their own thoughts and beliefs that, we talked about that briefly for a second, right? That they don't want to get hurt. They don't want to get betrayed. Not that I don't feel like you've given them any reason to, but they already had them all existing before they even met you. These fears of betrayal from earlier in child, 7 years old and younger, when their emotional child was being developed, they had these experiences where I don't trust people. People betray you, people leave you, people do hurtful things. And so they're very also hesitant in that. That's why the mind goes, oh, no, you don't. You remember that and that and that and that happened. We're not going to do that. So it's those things that like kind of trap them and keep them, from doing, from leaping forward or stepping forward. It's like, finally the tug of war ends and then everyone drops. Yeah, we have the 8 of Wands. There is a lot of attraction energy here. 8 of Wands, a lot of passion, and that's where they express themselves more, probably more than just through emotion. Action, motion, not emotion, but, energetic attraction, physical attraction. I want to intimacy, I want movement, I wanna go do things. They express that more, their feelings that way than they do through emotional, sharing, it feels like, with all of this. We also have the Fool card, which is this childlike energy of I I don't want to have expectations, and I don't want to have intentions, because that equals failure, and I don't wanna be a failure. I'd rather just have no expectations and then just go on this adventure together, see where things unfold. But I feel that you have a lot of expectations on me, so I'm very careful, and I'm afraid I'm gonna fail you. even if you don't have any expectations, they already were in here before they met you, like I said, right? Long list of things that they feel I'm supposed to do, should do, need to. This is what everyone expects of me. But you're like, I never said that. And you're like, well, the voices in their head did. They just used your voice to do it. And that's the kind of energy that's here. Um, that they want to be able to move forward and have adventures and action and passion, but no rules, kind of energy, because rules mean failure, like we said. So for this upcoming week, for the both of you together, we've got the Queen of Cups and the Three of Cups. There's a lot of emotional energy, of course, there, but that's joy, celebration energy that comes in with this here. Um, there is this, the Queen of Cups, very emotional, huge emotion. The Three of Cups is also can represent a lower vibrational fear, the fear of third parties, fear of betrayal and being cheated on, and when both of us or either of us have that fear, that's what causes that mistrust that causes. And when we focus on that, it's what we draw toward us too. Um, so it's important to be aware of that. Let's see what's below the surface here just to gain some clarity. And we've got Empress energy, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, a lot of emotional energy that's flowing in here. Um, and like we said before, um, they don't have the ability to really, they never learn how to share their emotions. So they learn to share it through passion. And we do have the Devil card and the Knight of Wands, which is a lot of passionate sharing of things. And the Devil card can be this restrictive energy of long held beliefs of things are supposed to be, should be, all those expectations we talked about. They're like, no, I don't want to fail, I don't want to fear. And that's why they rerouted all of this through passion, passion, passion. And it's an interesting energy because though I feel like they've been cheated on, they've been betrayed in their past. I feel like with their main source of expression being passion, I feel like they tend to have short-term relationships as they move from person to person to person with passion, or they end up overlapping, where they end up with a couple people at the same time. Energy, and it's something to be aware of, not to put any fear or anything there, but there's a lot of betrayal and passion and energy where, and even with the Devil card, that can be sexual addiction, energy where they can't, this is such their emotional challenge is, I need to have a lot of this intimate contact because that's how I feel emotion, not through the heart, through the body, you know. So we can be aware of that for all of ourselves, but also aware of it there. And that's what I feel like with this dual energy. There's a lot of dual energy here too. That um, I just feel like they're torn between people all the time, and in their internal struggle turns into external struggles that are here. So I know I wish I had a happier, more joyful reading here, Brenda, but it just feels like, and I know you appreciate honesty. You don't want them to just tell you what you want to hear. You want truth. You want clarity. And I feel like until they learn and face those pains and things inside, they're not in that place to be able to share emotionally, that they will do it just through passion. And that eventually it's one person doesn't feel enough because they feel so empty. That's why they end up with more than one person. Not because they intentionally want to hurt anyone, just because they can't. Um, they feel like they're emotionally starving because they're not eating through their heart. we won't talk about what, where, but so hopefully that helps, Brenda. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here too. Just see what else they have here for you. But I feel even with that Queen of Cups, your intuition is high, and I feel like you pick up on these things too, right? And you're like, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Right. All right. Let's see here. Yeah. Here's the big heart. It's compassion. I know sometimes it's hard to have compassion on someone, but compassion is the warmth of the soul. Give it to others, but give it to yourself too. Have that compassion um, for yourself. And I know it's hard, but when we're in that kind of childlike space where I don't know how to express or receive love, I'm going to do it the only way I learned how. Till they learn a new way, they can't give it any other way. So hopefully that helps, Brenda. Hang in there, my dear. And many blessings to you. I know I've been on the other side of that for several times. If you listen to my Easier Path podcast, um, I do talk about a lot of that as well. My personal experiences and different things from spirit too. Alrighty. Hang in there. Many blessings to you. All right. Sudeshni, we are up to you for number 3. So let's grab that one. Thank you again for your multiple donations. And hey, Moonlight, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Hello, hello. And you onto the list here. All right. And then Deb. It's up to you, Deb. You can have this free reading for this and then use your other one for something else, whatever you'd like. All right. So Sudeshni, let's give that donation a love and a like here. You want to know, will you get your car from your brother as promised? Or will you be driving? Will I be driving next year? All right. Absolutely. Last question. All right, let's take a look here. So, based on current energies, will you get the car from your brother as they promised, or as was promised, right? And then, will you be driving next year? Or will you be flying on a broom, right? Let's take a look here. Anything else? All right, thank you. Boom. All right. So, is it going to be promised? With the 4 of Wands, which is joy and celebration, and the Ace of Pentacles is a new opportunity, though. I don't feel like you end up with your brother's car with this energy. I feel like you end up with a different car, but you're even more, wow. It's like your brother's car is good, but the car you end up with, they're like, what? I get that instead, kind of energy. It's like, whoa, okay, sure, So it's an upgrade kind of energy that's around this. I don't feel like you end up with your brothers, you end up with a different one. Will you be driving next year? Page of Pentacles. Yep, you have this great opportunity and abundance here. 6 of Wands. Victory, victory energy. Both of these are very positive. That would be definitely 2 yes cards together. And then also you got these together, which you have the 10 of Cups, again, this joy overflowing energy, and the Magician, which is manifestation, and that how much you drive is going to be up to you with this Magician energy. Bottom of the deck, you did have the Hierophant too, which can be a schooling or seeing things from a higher perspective. But I'm not sure if you were like returning back to school or something. There's almost like this energy of you're learning something next year. It doesn't feel like it's just like I'm learning about growth and higher things, but it feels like you're actually learning something, studying something that might require some driving to be able to go to and from it too. Um, so there's a lot of that energy that's in here. It's very positive. I mean, there's no challenging cards whatsoever. Four of Wands, joy. The Ten of Cups, just super joy. Six of Wands, victory. Ace and Page of Pentacles, abundance. Magician card, putting your action and your magic forward. All of it is positive energy. So looks really, really good for you for that. But I feel like there is a heightened opportunity, even with that Page of Pentacles, um, about the vehicle that you'll be driving is going to be even more awesome than you thought it ever could be. So I like that for you. And you'd be learning driving. Oh, you're going to learn to drive as well, like driving school. And let's see here what fortune cookie comes in here. Yeah, and you get support. So you have a lot of support in this coming in for you. Seek support. You don't have to bear everything alone. So I like that. You definitely have this great energy that's coming in there. So I like it um, for you. So that's what they got. So many blessings to you. All right. Deb. Oh, you lost in your, geez. You had a unique casino that had an unexpected grounding. Oh, how fun. It's like something earth and sky. Oh, how beautiful. But then you lost. Oh, on a reservation. Oh, yeah. Definitely feeling that beautiful energy. I think you won one 15-minute personal recorded reading. Yeah. I don't think you won twice. Just the one. Just the one winning. I think I put that you won on something else, right? Yeah. All right. So we'll continue on here. Johanna, thank you. There's your question. Boom. Right on the in the nick of time there. The full moon one was Sarah Taylor. She won. The full moon one, I think you put something on there and I put yeah, and you won one of the Halloween ones on Sunday. Sorry. Of course, Spirit always gets chatty with yours anyway, so it'll end up being a whatever Spirit brings in, of course. All right. So, Johanna, let's jump to your reading here. So, here's all of your time stamps here. Whoops, I did not want to open that up. There we go. So, thank you for your additional donation. We'll give that a love and a like there. And number 3 is why did I have such anxiety last night? All right. Let's take a look here. All right. So, what was the source here? Where was this feeling of anxiousness? Okay. I don't want those. Is there 4 here? Yeah, there's 4 here. Okay. What else? What's below the surface here? All right. Would you have stage fright? Six of Wands? Yeah, it's almost like stage fright. It's funny. Um, we'll see here. What's below the surface here first. Got the Knight of Swords. So there's this movement of communication, clarity coming in. The Ace of Cups. Mm, okay. And the Three of Cups. There's a little bit of I want to say it's mainly about love, of course, with this energy here. But it's the clarity, it's the communication, it's the wanting to hearing from someone, wanting to communicate with someone. And it's about this love energy, right? It's about wanting to be able to express my heart. But the Three of Cups is I mean, one, it's an energy of your higher self and your spiritual posse, too, right? Yeah, a lot of energy, right? And so I do feel like you were getting a lot of messages from the spirit world, but there was something that was very noisy that it's almost like one person being really loud in your face and 10 people almost felt like a crowd around you, right? And that's why I feel like this anxiety is you felt like there's so many things that I'm trying to process, but all I'm hearing is this I'm not enough energy that had to do with an individual because this Three of Cups is like third party. Like, is there someone else? Is that why? And I'm not good enough. I feel like there's something, this all this bubbling below the surface that I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't have like a dream that popped up. You felt bombarded, yeah. So let's say with these four cards on the top, this is what was bubbling below the surface. On the surface, yeah, this my dream come true energy that had here a weird dream, yeah. So this is the dream come true energy. So part of this is like I'm so excited. There, I feel like there was excitement mixed in with anxiety, and there was a lot of different energies, and it kind of all felt anxious. But no, just a piece of it was anxiousness, but there was excitement, looking forward to things, and but there's this fear of also regarding I wanna be so far into it already, kind of that, yeah, it's, like, all mixed up, right? Like, I wanna live my dream, but I feel like I should be there already, and I don't wanna have to go through everything, I just wanna get there, but, what if I don't get there? And, it's like there's all this stuff around your dream that was here too. Yeah, the Two of Swords, here's the battle between the head and the heart coming in here. Ew, yum. And the King of Wands, yeah, wanting to take action, wanting to make decisions, wanting to move forward. And you had a lot of joy and excitement energy here as well. So, I feel like that's where it was coming from. And whatever weird dream you had, I feel like in its whimsical, I feel like Alice in Wonderland, it's like there's a lot of um, information built into the dream. You jump out of your body and die, right? It's like you wanted to get out because you wanted to move forward. Like, I want to get out of this moment into the future. It's almost like you wanted to leap into the future, into a future self. But it's like breathe and come back to be here now. Focus on the joy and the gratitude of the moment. Um, but as you feel the feels, allow them to process it. Only takes 90 seconds for it to go through our body, and then we're able to really look at our energy and um, go, what am I afraid of? Where's this anxiousness coming from? Why am I wanting to be in a rush to be somewhere else than this moment? And then when we come back into gratitude for this moment, what we do have, then that of course is what is that grounding type of energy. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here too. Yeah. Meditation. Shh, shh, sit, listen. Prayer is talking to spirit, meditation is listening, right? Meditation connects you to your inner self. So making sure you're taking that time, to connect to your inner self is helpful, right? So, but I feel like that's the combination. It's just your dream wanting to take you somewhere, the excitement of everything that you've been through, and of course, you have a lot of leftover supermoon energy going on. We all do, but you're with your connection to the moon energy, you're feeling a lot of that, and then also, so you got all that moon energy, you've got the excitement energy of everything you experienced that ignited your dream, but it also ignited your inner child of, well, I want to just be into the dream. I want to be way up there and not have to take all these steps. Let me just get there. And so there's this anxiousness of all the steps that take to get there, right? And then there is the love energy that's bubbling around, still letting go of that, the those energies of the breakup, right? And the inner child is still processing not being chosen. And is there someone else? Is there? And where do I compare? Nothing compares to you. There's that song from the jukebox. Um, but there's like this energy, and then all this together. So it's like, yeah, you're like, oh my gosh. So remembering, feel the emotions, let them flow, but ground yourself, and gratitude come down to the moment, or just start laughing hysterically. Let that love energy out, right? All right. So hopefully that helps, my dear. That's what they have for you. So enjoy, enjoy. Now you can ground yourself and rest. Light a candle, invite your spiritual posse in, put a grounding wire around you. Take off your shoes, step on the ground. Say, Mother Earth, can you suck some of this out, or put your hands on the ground? Sit Indian style on the ground, put your hands, and just let the Mother Earth go, "Here, let me help you with some of that," and let her just draw that out. All right. Many blessings. Much love to you. Naked in the woods. It's a little cold, isn't it? Don't get frostbite. All right. Maria P., you are up next. Changing the subject. Speaking of running naked through the woods, I wonder what Wally's doing. I'm just kidding. Chasing after the deer. All right, Maria, thank you for your additional donation via the PayPal. So thank you for that. Let's take a look here. So last week on Friday, one of the ladies that dislikes you, or dislikes herself, right? You asked her a question, and she stood staring at me like she was hiding something behind her hand. Like, what did you do? Why does she dislike you? Messages from Walter and a song from Walter. Okay. Let's take a look here. So why was she standing the way she was? All right, thank you. Um, why does she dislike you? And message from Wally. Walter. Sorry, Walter. We changed to Walter. And a song from Walter. Let's see what we got here. So, what was she hiding behind her back here? She had something. The Four of Pentacles, holding a bag, and the Ten of Pentacles, abundance, and things there. I don't feel like she was like hiding something from you. I feel like she just had something. I feel like she had something to eat, or something that she had that she didn't want to share with anyone. And so she was just holding it behind her back. She didn't want to be seen with it kind of energy. Don't feel like she was hiding anything specifically from you in that. It just feels like she had a bag with something in it behind her back. And and she didn't want, maybe it was a bag of candy from, like, Halloween, and she didn't want to share it with you. My candy. um and then where is the sense of dislike coming from, right? Yeah, there is this, there is a jealousy here, but this is this joy. 10 of cups is joy, and the judgment card is about seeing things from a higher perspective. Under the surface, this has to do with their self-worth. When you realize that you can never know as a human why someone reacts to you, because you don't know what they're seeing through their eyes, right? We think, oh, there something about me is making them, and like, no, something about themselves, because you're just a mirror. So when they're looking in the mirror, they're seeing themselves. And with this joy, I feel like you have this positive attitude, you have this joy, you're living your dreams, you live life, we'll put it that way. They have so much pressure under themselves, and they have so much dislike for themselves. That's why dislike is projected from them, in that way. Also, what you don't like about them, looking at, like, I don't like that they're jealous of me. Who are you jealous of? What jealousy resides within you? If you're like, I don't like them, then what in them don't you like that exists within you? Because that's exactly why she puts that forward. There's something in you that she dislikes in herself that she just sees projected. So you can't do anything about that, um, except look at your own reflection. The more all the mirrors in our outside world point us back to show us something about ourselves until we see it. So if there's something, if it's like rejection, I don't like not being liked by people. Where does that go back to? Not being chosen, not being liked, into childhood, right? It's like, okay, where's that at? You know, not being chosen, not being chosen on teams, not being chosen by parents. We all have these things that bubble up, that are bubbling below the surface, that we never dealt with, that get reflected into the outside world for us. So something to think about. Um, a message from Walter. Got this, the joy here. 3 of Cups energy with the knight, not the knight, the Queen of Swords, which is this perfect partner, right? That we're, and it goes back to the other, just a reminder, you know, um, I feel like we're a perfect fit, and I'm so glad when we're like this. Um, and the song, let's see what the song is about here. Oh yeah. Look. Because you have the Queen of Swords that you got the Queen of Swords again. So for your song, there's like this energy. And in fact, it's almost like that song of nothing compares to you. But what's this Knight of Swords? It's about movement. We've got to move it, move it. So there's like 2 songs. They got the "You got to move it" energy coming in, which is a more funny one, but the other one is, and as soon as I saw that, they replayed that song that I was just, the "Nothing Compares to You," um, song that comes in. So I love that for you. Right, let's grab your fortune cookie here too. See what else we've got going on here. Then Moonlight, you'll be up after this. I think that's going to be it for my donations. Here we go. Yeah, I like this. So your message is trust. Trust your intuition. The universe guides you. But I feel like there's that trust too. We don't trust other people, and that's all right. You don't need to trust other people with your worth. but you can trust people in the little things, but we don't define ourselves by other people. So we don't trust people with our worth. We find that on the inside. Because when you trust people with your worth on the outside, that's why we feel unstable because people are unstable. Humans are unstable, right? All right. So hopefully that helps, Maria. That's what they have for you, my dear, my dears. Many blessings to you. All right. And then Moonlight, you are up. Whoops. I think that's right. Yep, that's right. So here is your timestamp. Thank you again for your donation and your little, hey, how's it going? All right. So, summertime. All and everything Spirit has for you for the upcoming week. And will you hear from C, the person on your mind? All right, let's take a look here. So let's see, what do we got here? Let's find out. Based on current energies, are you going to hear from or see the person on your mind? We'll look at that. All right, and then what else for the upcoming week? What do you need to know? All right, there's the countdown there. Underlying energy for the week, you do have the Knight of Wands, which is an action, movement energy. So it does feel like there's some activity, some things are moving that weren't moving before. You do have a countdown, like I said, 3, 2, 1 for the overall week. From the other individual, the one that's on your mind, person on your mind, will you see or hear from them? You have the Justice card, which is a balanced energy. The Ace of Swords here would represent communication. The Six of Wands, I do feel, I mean, both of this is a positive energy. The Justice card is ruled by Libra, which is relationship energy, right? And the Six of Wands is being seen, actually standing up on stage and being seen. So this feels like, yeah, you'll hear from them and you'll get to see them too this week based on current energies. So, balanced, positive approach coming in here with that. So interesting. For the week, the three that you start off on here, you've got the Star card. That's a beautiful, balanced Aquarius energy, the Nine of Cups. Both these dream come true energies, the Star and the Nine of Cups, and the Hierophant. So this dreams both of the mind and the heart and kind of energy that comes in here. The Hierophant is like you're gaining clarity this week around what your dream come true is. From this one and this one, there's two different ones, and you're realizing what is the difference between my what my mind wants and what my heart wants. Might even do like a little journal, put a line down the middle, put brain, heart, right? What does your brain want? What does your heart want? And see where they mesh together. Because I feel like this is clarity around I can have what my heart wants and my mind can help support that. But it's like allowing both to have a seat at the table that comes in there. So um, I like that. That's a good energy of this week is really clarifying the difference between the two dreams. Then you have the Eight of Pentacles with the Two of Swords. Again, the Two of Swords is the battle between the head and the heart. And the Eight of Pentacles is about putting in the blood, the sweat, the tears, and allowing the cycles. But it's worth it going through that process and seeing the difference between the two here, because I do feel like you gain a lot of clarity and it allows you to make a plan. You have the phases of the moon here. It's to know when to start and when to end things in and taking things off the list of the mind that don't support what the heart wants. And so there's this clarity that comes in with all that. The Justice card too just overall, when we got that with the other person, there's that, seeing things from a higher perspective, cutting away the old things that don't fit anymore. That's also Aquarius energy. The old ways just don't serve the new ways. Yeah, and the Queen of Wands, then it's you taking action, baby. Yeah, that Knight of Wands. The Queen of Wands decides what she wants, and the Knight of Wands is that energy, the action. They're the knight serves the queen and the king, but in this case, you're just the queen, right? With this Queen of Wands, and it serves the queen, and it's like, all right, I know what I want. Now I'm going to put action behind taking these steps. Now that I have this clarity, and it's moving forward with that. So I like that for you. It seems like that's the big focus is what is it that I want? Because this is the time to do it. Um, and to gain that clarity before you put action behind something. It's like before we, step on the accelerator of a car, what direction do I want to go in? Because I don't want to go 100 miles an hour in this direction if I want to go this direction, right? So I like that. All right. So let's see here. What is your fortune cookie coming in here? Right, it's this one here. Yeah, give yourself some grace. Says, grace is the universe's blessing. Open your heart to receive it. I like that. It also comes down to that energy of there's no right or wrong. There's no good or bad, worse or better. There's just different choices with different experiences and different outcomes. So when you step out of your head of the this is the way that it has to be, going, no, there's a wide variety of choices. What do I want? I get to decide. And there's no wrong choice. The spirit and the universe don't go, oh my God, I can't believe you chose that. They are very much about what's the adventure that you want to experience. And that's when you sit in your heart and go, where is it that I want to go? Yeah. And then that comes in. So hopefully that helps. That is what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. And I do believe that is it for my donations. I do have a lengthy list of free readings that I will return back to. I'm going to head off here and go eat, go help my host with a few things. And then I'll be back on this afternoon, probably within 2 hours, to finish up all of the free readings as well. And I will post a pinned comment at the end of the streams with all what I completed with timestamps. So be sure to check that out. If you haven't checked out my latest podcast while you're waiting, you can check some of those out if you wish. Here is the um, playlist link. Actually, no, that's the one for the most recent one. But the playlist link is in the description box of the video if you want to check any of the others out. Also, if you haven't entered the drawing for November 20th, which is just 12 days away, 11 days away. Look, we lost a day already. Um, but there's the link to get into the drawing. Giving away a 30-minute personal recorded reading or a hedge of peace and love, whichever one you prefer. I also have all of my services on special through the end of the year, even on January 1st. So if you're interested in a personal reading, a live reading, and or my hedge of peace and love, they're all on special until then. So I think that's all the things I wanted to mention there. So thank you guys again for all the thumbs up and all the love and all the support. I'm so grateful to be on this adventure with you and for all the thirst you have for hearing from spirit. And until I talk with you guys again, remember every second of every day of your life that you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the mother and the father of all things, our creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I chat with you again, much love. Hang in there. Remember, have some fun, right? It's a playground. Why are we being so serious? Let's go play. All right. I love you guys. We'll see you soon.